hours. That's from Peter Dinklage's third leg.
Well, it's an unusual name, so I can't remember it. I will bring up a text real quick, and I can tell you exactly what her name is.
Okay.
But I don't. Her name is Nafcot. N-A-F-K-O-T. N-A-F-K-O-T. Nafcot.
K-O-T. Nafcot.
Now, she may be making that name up. I don't know, but...
Well, probably
Read
not.
me one of those texts that is just dripping with, for me, a come hither style. Read me the text, one of the last text she sent you.
Let's see. Well,
We'll see if we can figure out where the come hither is.
the store does not have the requested product, Schnucks Grade A large eggs. Would you like a replacement? Only have organic available for $4.69. I said, sure. And then she said, took a picture, only have 2 of these brands left in the store. And then she said, they also have the Land O'Lakes cage-free eggs for $2.99. I said, well, yeah, I'll take
Love.
those.
That is love. Love is in the air. Dun, 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 dun.
And then,
Right,
then hey,
there's
Nafcot.
some there.
Hey, Nafcot. I didn't put it on the list, but any chance you can grab me a roll of paper towels? Then she actually took a picture of the empty shelves and said, none left, and then a crying face.
Hot.
Bill.
So,
Well,
there you go.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I am here with a wonderful sponsor of TMA, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And this is something that I experienced, as a matter of fact, years ago. If you get a call from an insurance agency, if you were in an accident, they are not necessarily working on your side. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Tim. I mean, in almost every case, there's going to be an insurance company involved. You know, they typically insure whoever caused the injuries to you by the person or the business that caused it. And unfortunately, from the moment your case begins, the insurance company is actually working against you, trying to minimize their payout. You might get a call from like somebody who seems like to be a really nice person who's just trying to see how you're doing, but their goal is actually to get some information out of you to turn around and use it later to show that you're not as hurt as you actually are. Insurance companies have specialized systems and thousands of workers who follow a playbook to pay you as little money as possible when you're hurt. This is Doug Biggs, and my injury law firm hates insurance companies and their deceitful tactics, and we'll make a fair fight out of it. Visit our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Have you been thinking about buying a new home, but you're a little scared because of all these crazy headlines about how difficult it is to find the perfect home? Good thing for you, you know the expert. We will navigate you through the process to ensure you're getting the right home and the right home loan. And with our 10-day closing guarantee, you will be in the home of your dreams by the end of the month. Ready to see just how easy buying a home can be? It all starts today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Mother's Day is coming up, and I have the perfect gift for you to give your mom this year. It's Sound Story. Hi, this is Joe Buck. Every year we try to come up with the best gift to show our moms how much we appreciate everything they have sacrificed and all they have done for our families. With Sound Story, you can give a gift that mom will love and the whole family will love as well. Sound Story is an hour-long interview hosted by your choice of Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, or Jackson Burkett at the Hubbard Studios in Creve Coeur, and it couldn't be easier to purchase. Just go to mysoundstory.com, click on gift certificates, and present your mom with a gift on Mother's Day that she will treasure. And right now, all you have to do is enter promo code TMA to save 15% on your Mother's Day Sound Story gift card. Just go to mysoundstory.com and enter promo code TMA for 15% off your Mother's Day gift that she and your family will never forget.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. 'Twas the night before Dotem, and all through the bar, with the sounds of Iggy talking about being cucked on the hood of a car. Yep, it's the return of the legendary Night Before Dotem Party, 7 p.m., May 17th at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills. Brought to you by the EDF Group. Join Tim, Doug, Iggy, Plowsy, Action Jackson, and Lisa Ann. Experience the return of the Lisa Ann dating game and take advantage of drink specials all night. Plus, try their house specialty Reuben rolls or take part in the wing eating contest. By the way, it's free to get in. Find out more at tmastl.com. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. We are in the Michelob Ultra Studios. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota. 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan. On my left, if you are watching on YouTube, where does Iggy pop up on my left? Oh, he's catty corner from me on YouTube. Is in studio. Jackson is running the board directly across from me because the Plowhawk is vacationing in the Hamptons. And then on my right, and I believe, let's see, above me, this is Hollywood Squares. KG in O-Town. First time in studio as a co-host, is that?
First time. Usually I'm in the back in the Horton Watkins studio, or standing over there behind a camera. So yeah, first time sitting down and being a part of things.
I'll be real transparent with the audience. Usually Balloon Party is, what is that called in there, Jackson? Honesty in Media?
Always has been.
But I didn't realize until about 3 minutes ago that the Plowhawk wasn't in today. And then I go, yeah, Jackson's over at the board. And then it was just the three of us. And I go, oh, KG, why don't you sit over here? So come on in. The water's warm.
I'm thrilled to be here.
Are you really? I mean, is this an honor to be on the dais as a longtime listener?
It is. I think we're at about 16 years or so for me.
16 years would take us
07.
back to 07. Oh, so you were not listening when it was Martin and the cat.
I missed the very beginning.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing Ask Tony, and
that put us on the map.
yeah, and I was befuddled. Is that Tony? Martin was great. Those were great.
Tony LaRussa is legend, and that really is what did put the show on the map way back when.
Did they knock down our old studios in Webster?
I drove by the building like last week, and the building's still there.
Martin
what do you mean?
tweeted something like they demolished the old building where we're at.
Really? Who said that?
Martin.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
If they did it. I mean, that building's been for sale forever.
Yeah, I don't know. He said, I guess they had to take care of all Biggie's cigarette butts.
I feel like I just drove by there within the last week, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't, because what used to be Stratton's and is now Balkan Treat Box is where I essentially used as my offices for Inside STL. So I think I was driving by there with my wife, and I go, oh, you probably don't know this, but that's where Inside STL started, is Balkan Treat Box. Fun facts for no and tell.
Really? That is cool.
Unless he was talking
Stratton's, and
Yeah.
producer Joe, to his credit, landed. Do you remember her, Iggy? She worked behind the. This sounds like something in like Reality Bites.
I dated a girl from Stratton's. I don't know which one.
This girl was for real, beautiful.
No, it wasn't her.
The
She
top
was
25 in my St. Louis experience. Not like dialed up and fillers and all that stuff and Instagram duck lips.
Now this
like
girl was
just
more of a
naturally.
Festus 7, so.
This girl was a 10 in L.A. or Miami. So yeah, there's fun facts for no one tell. And so when I drove by that, I looked over and I go, God, all the crap that went on in that building. And that's all I thought, but it was still there. And this was within the last week.
Unless he was talking about the sex shop, but why would he be down there? Why would Martin be driving down there?
Well, the landing is hot right now.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it.
Yeah. Buck Swope texting immediately. Buck Swope's on top of it. Let's see what we got. I got to open up my iMessages. You can, if you have my phone number, text me. The building has not been demolished yet, but it's going to be. Wow. How about that?
Oh.
8045 Big Ben, Jackson.
8045 Big Ben. So that's behind Balkan Treat Box or to the...
It is to the east, southeast, if my directions from memory are correct. It runs parallel to I-44.
Got it. Okay. I kind of know where that is. I've been to that restaurant many a time.
Hey, we got a hell of a promotion going on here. This is kind of in the this is only $30 category. I want to make sure I get it right because I can't believe it. But hey, we got another thing going on in addition to the Dotem, which will take place May 18th and May 19th, presented by Michelob Ultra and the wonderful people at Munganess St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota and Family Golf, where I was getting working yesterday. I don't sleep the week before the Michelob Ultra Fan Page Club Championship, now known as the Jennings Jr., and I just get working. That's all I do. This is unbelievable. It's TMA Day at the ballpark. TMA Day at the ballpark. Just go to tmastl.com. What is TMA Day at the ballpark, you ask? It's we have taken over 2 sections at Busch Stadium, and they are incredible sections. Sections, what, 128 and 129? Am I correct on that, nurse? Has anybody checked to see if my nurse? If I'm not mistaken, field boxes. And it's Wednesday, June 14th, 12:15 game. Take the day off work and enjoy TMA Day at the ballpark and the Cardinals and the Giants. We will all be there from the dais. Listeners can purchase field box tickets for $30. $30.
Unbelievable.
What in the hell?
It's unbelievable.
And then $12 of that is Cardinals cash to spend at the game as you wish. So that includes whatever you would use with your $12. All TMA listeners will sit together in the same 2 sections. Before the game, we're going to be broadcasting from Salt and Smoke, what's up, Tom, at Ballpark Village for a pregame TMA live broadcast from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. with special breakfast and drink menu from Salt and Smoke. Then you can head to the tmastlshop.com to get your Best Fans in Baseball shirt for the big day at a discount. Use promo code CARDS to get that shirt for only $20. Plus, all shirts will ship to Hubbard, and you'll be able to pick them up at Salt and Smoke the morning of the game. So $30 for a field box ticket, plus you get $12 in concessions.
It's unbelievable.
What in the world?
It's outstanding. $30 for a Cardinal game and hang out, watch a little broadcast. You can get a Cardinal T-shirt, the B-Fib shirt on discount.
Yeah, Best Fan of Baseball.
That's promo code CARDS, all capitals, CARDS.
For the tmastlshop.com. But you don't need a promo code to get the tickets.
You do not.
So I can't believe it.
Yeah, incredible.
$30. Like let me see. If I were playing Prices Right on that, I would say in the 50 range.
I was gonna go like 50, 55 bucks.
Oh.
For the.
Am I off on the mark? Am I off the mark on this?
You're probably within. I'd give you $10 either side. I bet you're in there.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's and to get that and on top hanging out with us and taking a day off. Love a nice busman special. Busman special with the
Let me tell
TMA
you
fellas.
something, and I want people to know this. Busman special, Sneaker Sapphic Day. Sneaker Sapphic Day. It's total under the radar, but there's trying to describe the crowd at the games, at the cocktail lounges for a busman special. And if you've done it, you know. But I'm just telling you, there aren't any kids around. Nobody's got the families. It's a busman's. And, certainly can be an infidelity hotbed. Kind of like your neighborhood gyms in Frontenac. But it is a prime opportunity for Sappho's, from my standpoint. At least it was. I don't get a chance as the father of 2 to observe this as much, but I'm just telling you, it has been. Is that in the fine print of TMA Day at the ballpark? No. But am I telling you it's possible? Yes.
It should be noted.
It should be noted.
People should know that that's the case.
Well, I feel like with TMA being involved, the chances shoot way up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't really thought about that, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll probably have, 10% of the people buying tickets being mid-20s interested females.
I agree with you.
Females interested in females.
What was the listenership of females on YouTube?
What do you got? What's the latest on this, Jackson?
Well,
at one point, it was 80% male, 20% female, and Doug and I were selling all of our stock at that moment. We said, that'll wrap it up. If anybody wants to buy our stock, it's available.
Yeah, last time I checked, it was 0.02% was female, but that's just...
Hold on a second. We went from 20% to 0.02%?
That's a rounding error. It's closer to 10%. You get that margin of error is wider and wider.
Sure.
This is YouTube, This software hasn't been around that long.
Right.
Exactly. This is new coding.
So yeah, that number is subject to change, but I don't think that'll change the fact that this is an incredible value to come hang out at the ballpark with us, with the possible chance of Sappho's.
Right. It's implied. So there it is. It is at tmastl.com. I am posting a link to the TMA fan page right now. For those of you who want to get on it, it is tickets in section 128 and 129, and they're $30 for the June 14th Busman special against the San Francisco Giants. $30 for field boxing. This is the thing that even if you hated this show, and we know you're out there, and thank you for listening despite your hatred. I'd like to have you in for a study someday. But this is the kind of thing that you would do even if you hated the program.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to talk
There might
to
be
us.
balloon party people in here.
There could be. There could be.
You don't have to talk to us. Just enjoy the baseball game.
That's right. We'll just be there. We're just friends with the feather, just like you.
Yeah.
So there it is. I am posting the link on the TMA fan page, and I will tweet it out from the TMA STL account momentarily. Jackson, to me, as much as I think the lead could really be the Battlehawks missing out on the playoffs, and I know Iggy is furious about what happened.
That damn tiebreaker.
That Seattle Sea Dragons getting in, the Doggies letting up a goal in extra time on Saturday night. The Cardinals continue to lose series. To me, I know what I care most about is this. What happened in that cabin in Sparta, Tennessee? And I'm just going to sit back and let you tell stories.
Go ahead and talk. I got to get some water. This Gatorade is awful. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll come back.
Okay. That was what a nice introduction. A long diatribe, and then Iggy just says, "Yeah, I'll give me a moment." It was great. What happened in that cabin was gentlemen enjoying good times and fellowship with one another. That's exactly what happened. There was a lot of beverages enjoyed, just a lot of great times, beautiful scenery. I mean, that's really what country out there?
Is that right?
In the middle of Tennessee, yeah.
But it's not really the Smoky Mountains, correct?
No, it's not. It's not. Because if you go to the Smoky, it's like an extra 2 or 3 hours, and 6 hours plus in the car was plenty. I'll tell you that much. Didn't need any more. But it was a great time. The views were incredible. Got 2 rounds of golf in. That was great. Great to see some of my friends.
You did play golf?
Yeah, twice. We played Friday and Saturday.
There were courses in that area.
The first course we played was truly, and this is no exaggeration, I won't name the place, even though I doubt we have a lot of Sparta, Tennessee tourism listeners, but I still won't drag the place. But it was the worst course I've ever played in my entire life.
Really?
It was the worst course I've ever played in my entire
life.
life.
Why was it so bad?
They lacked grass, Tim.
Okay, well, that's going to be
important.
You do need grass, kind of, on a golf course. Dirt with patches of crabgrass isn't going to cut it, not for me at least. So aim for the rough, because there was some grass in the rough. Green somehow, great shape. The next day we played a different course, which was considerably better, except it was the worst aeration job I've ever seen, and the greens were more sand than green. So that was tough. So either on both sides of the golf courses there, we couldn't really get a round in that was optimal, but it was still great. And there was no man-on-man action.
Oh, wow. I didn't even ask, and he volunteered it. He doth protest.
I saw what was coming. I kind of saw the shot that was coming, and there was none of that.
Was it ever close, do you feel like? Like with Gareth?
Gareth, no. Gareth didn't sleep much. That concerned me. But
really? Oh, has he got a keep-up deal?
No. He's just he has trouble sleeping. And nocturnal activities, you would think, would lead to more man-on-man action, but from what I witnessed, there was none of that.
Jackson, how did you enjoy me? That's from Herb Zollig.
Herb was only there for a couple days. He had to leave early.
Weren't you all there only for a couple days?
Well, yeah, relatively. He was only there till Saturday. We all left Sunday, so he missed the final night.
Is everything all right with Herb?
Everything's fine.
Did he wear that brown outfit?
I would love. You want to talk about? You always talk about your closet. I'd like to go take a trip to my boy Herb's closet because he pulls out some numbers I've never seen.
Well, he presented Plowsy with 3 shades of brown.
He
right?
did.
So
He did.
That's right.
Commission.
I think that just goes to show you how much heat he has in this closet.
Yeah,
He's just giving that 3 brown shades away for nothing.
That's a long day or a long trip for 2 days. It's kind of like Jamaica.
I gotta tell you, I kind of agree with Iggy on the. And how long was the drive?
6 hours and some change.
I would have thought it was longer. Looking
Longer
at the
than
map.
that.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Took me 9 hours to get to Gatlinburg.
Well, you have to go through the Smokies to get to Gatlinburg. We didn't have to go through the
Okay.
Smokies. We were short. It's like going to the Colorado. If you don't have to go through the Rockies, it's a considerably shorter trip. So that's kind of how it was. Yeah, the two nicest weather days were the 2 days we drove. Thursday and Sunday were the two best weather days. So that kind of sucked. But
What was the deal with the weather? Cold?
it was kind of cold and overcasty on Friday. Not cold, I would say like in the mid 60s. Saturday was cold. It was like 55, but sunny. That's all that matters, because that's like when you're on this big balcony with this massive view of a valley, you want to see some sunlight. You know, gray skies don't work out there. But it was fun. It was really fun. Guys enjoying. And it was more of a chance for me to just like disconnect from everything. I like barely looked at my phone during it. Totally peaceful, super quiet out there. No one else around. Really, really nice in that sense. So enjoyed that.
I was angrily texting you trying to book guests for balloon party, and I never heard back.
Right.
I have never been more pissed.
I know. Yeah. I was like, man, like.
When can we get Nightingale is what I kept writing.
Yep,
no
yep.
response.
Yep.
Nightingale, question mark.
Any news on Nightingale? Like Thursday at midnight. After I guess you scheduled that text.
Did anybody get intoxicated?
Yeah, all of us.
Okay.
Yeah, we got after it.
Did you see any women whatsoever?
I'm not joking. Outside of the golf course attendant.
Beverage cart girl?
No.
Everybody fire on the beverage cart girl?
Crazy, but this course with no grass didn't have a bev cart girl. But the female running the pro shop, I believe, was the only woman we spotted until we left. There was no women.
I bet Herb took his chance there.
No, one of my other buddies.
Oh, really?
Hit on this girl who worked
Frog
at
Dad?
Sonic.
That's probably Frog Dad, you're right.
It wasn't Frog Dad.
Oatmeal. I think it was oatmeal on his
wasn't
nipples.
oatmeal. I've never mentioned this guy, so I don't have a nickname for him yet.
Bill.
Yeah, well, actually, there's a Bill connection there. So, yeah, I'll say Bill. Hit on this girl from Sonic on the way back from the golf round.
Hit on a girl from Sonic.
Yeah.
Wow.
She worked at Sonic, and he asked her what's there fun to do in Sparta, and she said go to Knoxville or Nashville. So that's kind of the harsh reality of going to the middle of nowhere.
Guys, Jackson definitely sounds like a guy who got laid this weekend. That's from the Total Package. Caller Buzz says, Rick is in the building this morning. I hope he sticks around for balloon party. It will be Rick's first balloon party appearance. Give him hell, Rick. That's from caller Buzz.
Is like Rick my persona when I'm not hungover. I didn't drink.
Are you hungover?
No, I didn't drink yesterday. No, I drove most of the way home yesterday. So
Herb drove a little bit.
Herb had to leave early, so Herb had already got there.
Did Herb know he would have to leave early?
Yeah, he's got family in Nashville, and he had to go do something in Nashville for that weekend. But we drove Frog Dad's car, and so I had to drive most of the way.
What does your caravan listen to on that drive?
It's a nice
Just
question.
Talking,
It's a really nice
podcast,
question.
music. What's going on in the car?
We'll bump some tunes. We'll play some tunes, and then we played a lot of 20 questions. Yeah, that's how we pass the time. Yeah, it's a real fun thought exercise. Anytime I kind of like a long trip with my friends, like on a long car ride like that. Like that doesn't bother me. Like that's part of the trip, in my opinion.
Back-to-back texts here. Iggy, you can see the text inbox now, too. Are we going to discuss why Iggy is pouting? Just tell us what's wrong, man. Then the Loomster, who is up for Listener of the Year. Iggy is so upset that Jackson gets to tell stories this morning and not him. Iggy, would you like
I'm just enjoying. I mean, I wasn't on the trip. I can't talk.
I wish I had more titillating stories, but it was literally just 12. I think the number was.
What did you eat? Did you guys have a cookout?
Yeah, so we just bought a bunch of ground beef and and like chicken breasts, and we just grilled. And one night we were at pizza.
What was the most exciting part of this trip that I'm trying to extract?
I know. Like I wish there was like
turnip.
There was
turnip
like
from a blood.
There was
rock from a blood. Stone from a blood. Nurse.
I wish there was like something like we went out to a bar and they were like we got in this big bar fight.
Did you guys go to a cocktail lounge? Speakeasy.
A
brothel.
Our insider in Sparta, of course, was the Sonic girl, and
Is she available? Do we have her number?
I could text my boy.
Did he get her number?
Oh yeah.
Really?
It was really weird because he
on a 1 to 10, and let's call her I don't know, Central Corridor 1 to 10. Where is the Sonic girl?
In between 6 and 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Southern drawl.
And so she worked at the Sonic.
She did.
Was she of age?
Yes. She was 20.
Okay.
Yeah. Was she on skates?
Great. Nice question.
Thank you.
I don't know. I wasn't. So he FaceTimed her out of nowhere when we were out
And this
there
was
at the
oatmeal.
cabin. This is no.
And he
Bill.
showed his nipples on the FaceTime.
buddy
It was
Bill.
large areola.
No, I don't know what. I wasn't there when he got her number, but he did like pull up her Instagram and everything, and so we knew that, and it was not. But she was like, there's no real bars to go to. Like you can go to like there's like a bar where like if 12 of you walked in there, they would be like everyone would side eye you, and you would not have a good time.
They would take those Yankees out back and have their way.
Yeah. So it was,
So what happened when he FaceTimed her?
she just denied it, and so that's what we knew. We knew that this.
You got denied by the Sonic girl.
I didn't have anything to do with the girl from Sonic. I wasn't even there when it happened. I just know that was our insider to everything Sparta.
Did any of you guys have the apps fired up?
Yes.
Oh, nice question on that.
Yeah, so some of the boys did.
Nothing doing?
No. Yeah. I didn't even.
Like, was there even anybody on there?
They were on there.
You'd have to set the distance pretty good.
I mean, how far are you from Nashville? Like 100 miles?
You're like equidistant from each. So
That's what I looked. I looked on the map and I said, Jackson's not in the Smoky Mountains. He's in between Nashville and Knoxville.
It was like an hour and a half to either one. So I think like that kind of community is like a place kind of like where people who maybe work there and like have made some serious, because there's some serious crazy houses out there that like made good money in Knoxville or Nashville and like only work a couple days a week, live out there. So it's like a total like haven away from everything. So you'd have to go one way or the other.
How'd the apps do? Was there anything doing?
So my buddy, I didn't even go on there because that was not the point of this mission, and I knew that nothing fruitful would come of it. But some of my buddies did, and they said no good, not looker. So like, I really wish I had more titillating stories, but it was truly 12 guys like just drinking light beer and like goofing around with each other. Like we had a cornhole tournament. That's about as exciting as it got.
Guys, based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like I had more fun at the Priory Mixer in 7th grade. That's from Mr. Licks.
Yeah,
Mr. Licks went to Priory?
I'm sure that mixer was a great time, but yeah, I'm like it was not like what you think of like it wasn't like a bachelor party where it got like wild. We literally just drank beer and hung out and enjoyed the.
So that's obviously why you went there. If you're just going to do like a party weekend, you'd have went to Nashville.
Right, and we've done that before, and it's been a great time. So, like,
these dweebs probably listen to the Woj pod the entire drive there and back. That's from Eric, and he's in the Central West End.
The NBA was on the entire.
Everybody enjoys the association in this group.
Oh yeah,
even Herb,
especially Herb.
Wow.
Big Bucks fan that Herb is.
Oh, he's got to be panicking.
He is, and then my other buddy, actually Bill, is from Memphis and a huge Grizzlies fan, and so he was not happy either on Saturday. So
no, you had to know that was coming.
Well, you had Joe back, but I'm not going to get into it.
Our Jackson's friend 70, and this was really a senior citizen trip. That's from the Hunchback of On Castle.
Yeah, all my friends are...
Well, what does goofing around with each other mean? That's from Junior the Juice Man.
You know, telling jokes, cracking wise, this, that, and the other thing.
Did people get, like, annoyingly inebriated? Like producer Joe walking in toward the girls' dress at Hollywood Nights in 2005 at 3 in the morning inebriated?
Yeah.
Like zombie-like?
One of my buddies got really hurt on one night.
Which one was that, Oatmeal?
No.
Kai.
It might have been Sweet Sweet Kai.
I don't want to say it because
Oh, Herb.
No, it wasn't Herb. Herb wouldn't do
Gareth.
So. We had this, like, beer bong thing that we kept using, and so, like, we just, like, would challenge each other to keep doing it more and more. Until like one of my buddies got too drunk, and we had to play golf the next day, and he
couldn't function.
He took a nap in the car on the front nine.
You know, on a bachelor party in Las Vegas, we had the bad idea. For those of you, especially in the Jackson age range, who will be doing this, bachelor party in Las Vegas. We're like, we plan it. Probably didn't plan it much. We're like, yeah, we'll go play golf, and then you go to bed at 8 in the morning. And then, like, 3 hours later, you're going on the golf course, and 2 of the gentlemen could not complete the round because they were vomiting in the desert. And you kind of go, oh, yeah, that's probably, with the benefit of hindsight, obvious that we would not want to go play golf, and you're taking a cab out of the strip area. Bad idea. So it is a little foresight. Here you go, KG in O-Town. Now you know you're part of the show. You get the hell. Tell D-Bag in O-Town to turn his hat around. This is a professional broadcast. That's from the
314. Now the question is, how will KG in O-Town respond as he sits in the Michelob Ultra Studios and experiences the magic of the hatred?
That's all right. They're going to have to do better than that.
No, there it is,
I
KG in
think
O-Town.
there's
Now
a
you've
lot of
challenged the audience. Did anyone rub one out in the woods? That's from the Hunchback of Vaughan Castle.
Not again. Like I can only report on what I saw, and I didn't see any of that. But I can't report on stuff.
I feel like the low point had to be getting denied by the Sonic girl when you FaceTimed her. Not you.
Bill.
Yeah,
that wasn't great. Because we were at, like, I guess he asked her, like, what's there to do? Like, she's like, I'm going to Knoxville. That's the only place you can have fun around this part. So it was like, oh, okay, I guess we're not going to be doing that. Driving an hour and a half to go out to a bar. Like, that wasn't the point.
I have better stories from the drunken moms at my daughter's soccer tournament in Indianapolis this weekend than this balding 24-year-old group of dorks did betting each other. Button the stories about the board up.
Did anybody have sex?
You were out attending to something, but no one had. Well, no, again, I can only report on what I saw, and Gareth was up late. I don't know.
Do you think it's possible that Gareth betted somebody?
I'd be surprised, but you know, Gareth he amazes me every day. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't believe anyone did, but. You know, maybe some stories will come out.
Good morning. I guarantee someone rubbed one out in the cabin. Rick, did you sleep with another man? That's from caller Buzz.
No, I was lucky enough to have pretty much everyone had their own bed.
Now that was an upset. How many gentlemen were on the trip?
12.
How many beds were there?
So like actual beds, 7, and then there was air mattresses and couches and like. These like cot beds on like connected to the wall. That's where I slept.
Murphy bed.
There was a trundle.
Oh, nice. Day bed.
There was a trundle and maybe a Murphy, but there was like these like side beds that I slept. It was if you took half a twin mattress and cut it in half. Like I slept on what felt like a bucatini pasta noodle. I had no room to turn or operate.
The audience is usually angry about us. In this case, they're angry about this trip. These dorks could have saved precious time and money just renting out a community center in town for their lock-in. 1,000% chance these guys were going to the bathroom constantly to beat off, praying the shoddy Wi-Fi wasn't buffering on their phones. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener, who just someday might be a Hall of Famer.
Yes, I'm a gentleman. I prefer a man to rub me down.
I didn't. I can tell you that. I was fine.
You got the sense, though, that oatmeal did.
It could have. It could have been. Again, I can't report on what I didn't see, what I saw, but just the math would tell you that probably happened, but it wasn't me. I'll tell you that much.
Good morning. Gangster Pete wore a backwards cap on the tippy top of his head. Now he's scraping carcasses off the road for the sanitation department. That's from the Birthday Hawk. Do you feel like that's a cautionary tale, KG and O-Town?
I'm a big Gangster Pete fan.
How can you not be?
Right. Of course.
Gangster Pete he walked through the hottest fires of hell with us. We will be brothers for life for that. I would kill to go on a trip with old high school friends where we just sat around and reminisced, busted balls, and perhaps did recreational drugs. Mazel Jackson, that's from Deke Dotem. I mean, you get an endorsement from Dotem and a mazel.
Yeah, I love a nice mazel tov nonetheless. Thank you, Deke. And to what I'd say that is I think that opinion is actually what most people, if put to actual, like if you had to actually ask them, like they would love to do that, just to hang out with their friends. You know, if they're married, be away from their families for a couple days and just disconnect.
I think I would enjoy it. I just need to be a little closer to some semblance of civilization.
Right. And I think that was, because like we've done this kind of trip in the Ozarks, and there you have opportunities to like go out. There will be younger people there. I mean, it's not.
Probably not a lot of Ladue grads.
No, I can assure you that was not.
Did you think about that? Because that's a shorter drive.
Nice
we did, but we did that last year. We wanted to do something different, so we've done the Ozarks trip where we can get exactly what we had this weekend on top of that. But this just seemed like a good move, and like I think people are like, this is like Jackson's big vacation for the, like it was $90 Airbnb fee.
Oh, brag. We have our first brag.
Like it's not, I didn't cripple me financially to go on this little jaunt up to Tennessee, you know, between incidentals, like it was like $250. So like I can go do something else with my friends later this summer. So this was just one thing that we wanted to do for a couple days, and that was that. It was really just a great chance to disconnect.
Rick, who was the throat goat for the weekend? Voice sounds a bit hoarse, so congrats on it if it was you. No better bonding than a circle jerk and watching the NBA playoffs. That's from the 314.
How could I not anticipate the audience?
You do sound, well, of course, that's what goes on. But you do sound a little sluggish, I think would be the best word. Your voice sounds a little sluggish. But I mean, yeah, I guess you drank 3-4 nights in a row, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I live alone now. Like I'm just me, myself, in my apartment. So like all day, like being around people, you talk more.
What time did you get back to your place?
Yesterday around like 5 or 6.
Not bad.
Yeah, so not bad at all. It was an easy drive and
go through Paducah.
Yeah, big time. Paducah, Eddyville, Kentucky, the whole nine. You know, America. You know, real.
And then Mount Vernon. That's the route, I guess.
Yeah, Mount Vernon, Effingham. Yeah, that area. Yep, it was easy enough. And Thursday was Thursday night was just that was outstanding because the weather was perfect. There was a 6 sunset over the valley there. Played cornhole, just hung out. That was like peak. That was like peak there because everyone was just, you know.
With the benefit of hindsight, is this a trip that you would take again?
Not to that location, no.
Oh, no.
Just because, like, I would take a trip with these guys in similar circumstances.
So where will you guys, you going to do this every year?
Hopefully.
It's a great thing if you can do it forever.
Yeah, that's the hope. Hopefully.
Sounds like Herb might not want to come back if he's getting out early. That's kind of my read there. You won't see Herb next year.
Herb usually organizes these whole things.
Yeah, but you can tell Herb's withdrawing a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a man in love. You'll probably go into his bachelor party, wedding, then he'll have some kids. You won't see Herb much outside of the TMA year-end awards where he gives the Plowhawk a brown shirt, and that'll be it.
I hope that's not the case because he's truly one of my favorite human beings on this planet. But I think that he's moving to New York soon.
Oh, why does he hate St. Louis? And why does he think he's better than everybody?
He lived in Cincinnati over St. Louis for 2 years, if that tells you much. So
that sends a message.
His thoughts on the gateway to the West. But no, we hope to do it every year. Usually, like we did it. We went to Nashville when Vandy was playing Mizzou in Nashville. We did that 2 years in a row because our senior year of college we also did that, and so. They play, of course, this year, so maybe we take a trip back to Nashville for Missouri Vanderbilt. That could be our next trip.
Well, it's a great rivalry. If you went by Effingham, you went 2 hours out of the way. You dork. That's from Beer Cats, who won the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month in January of 2023.
This guy lives in Illinois or something. There's just big signs for Effingham. I've been through Effingham plenty of times. I thought that they were closer. Sorry, Beer Cat.
Yeah, Effingham, I feel like, is kind of further east in Illinois, if memory serves.
Big highway exchange there. Like you
it is.
Highways.
It's the crossroads of America, sir.
Yep.
The crossroads of America.
Get anywhere.
We are in the Munganess St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Go online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com, and that is how you can go shopping for a new or great pre-owned selection of vehicles from Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, and Peter Munganast. It's Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. The secret phone number to call or text, 314-252-0029, 314-252-0029. Call that number, text that number. Clayton Patterson's going to get back to you right away if you text it. Or you can just text your conversation with him. And you're working with the best. And even if you didn't get your car from Munganast, get your car taken care of at Munganast. It's Munganast St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota. 7 o'clock hour sponsor here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After, also the official automotive provider of the Ryan Kelly Morning After and the Tim McKernan Show podcast, where you can send emails in for QFTA at TMCKERNAN at InsideSTL.com, and the sponsor of the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown, which will return this week after taking the week off for the magic that was the Zurich Team Championships. Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Title sponsor of the program is Ryan Kelly, online at thehomeloanexpert.com. That's Ryan Kelly, thehomeloanexpert.com. With inflation here, people are taking on more debt than ever. If you are a homeowner, leverage your equity. Put the equity in your home to work for you with a simple cash-out refinance. With credit card debt, the average credit card interest rate is over 24% right now, the highest it's been in over 30 years. With inflation, people are carrying more debt than ever. Put your equity to work with you for a simple cash-out refi. The average home loan expert client receives over $54,000 cash out on their refinance. It's Ryan Kelly, thehomeloanexpert.com. I've done business with him. Doug has done business with him. My family has done business with him. We hope you continue to do business with him. That's why he's been our title sponsor now for more than 10 years. It's thehomeloanexpert.com, Ryan Kelly. And Andrea's, the Kentucky Derby party is coming up. What do we got, a week from this Saturday, right? Is that the Kentucky Derby? I think my math is correct, Iggy.
Isn't it?
Yeah, May 6th.
That was like the 18th.
No,
May 6th.
May 6th, yeah.
That's going to be a pony over there. And I just put that barbecue sauce on my metabolic meal shredded chicken. It just makes it a whole thing. My family is in love with it. It's Andrea's new barbecue sauce, which you can get at andreas.com. Of course, you get the steak sauce at andreas.com. Both are also available at Schnucks or at Dierberg's. And, of course, the steakhouse, a wonderful place to go and take your significant other or a group of people. And they have the Kentucky Derby party coming up on May 6th. It is Andrea's Steakhouse, home of the steak sauce and that brand new barbecue sauce, available at Schnucks or Dierberg's or online at andreas.com. All right, we are broadcasting from the Michelob Ultra Studios. Michelob Ultra sponsor the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. Michelob Ultra, the perfect libation to have when you're out on the golf course. And Iggy, here we are. We're 6 days away from the Jennings Jr. Fan Page Club Championship. And this is what it's all about. But the forecast has called into question just how much the conditions will impact the players on Sunday at Gateway National.
A little chilly.
The Hawk active.
Hawk is up. I saw my Doppler upwards of 16, 17 miles an hour. Temperature in the low 60s, 30% chance of rain. Not optimal for my game.
Do you feel like this benefits you?
No. I can't blame the wind.
Is that right?
I blow over.
You personally?
Yeah, I take my backswing and then the wind blows me.
Clip it off.
Unbelievable. Do you think will the clothes have to get tighter?
Oh yeah, I mean if you have baggy clothes, that explains it. You're like a flag,
like a balloon.
Yeah, you're a parachute just flopping around in the wind.
No, you take the club back and the wind hits you and you kind of move a little bit. And if it's India, I hit the ball like 210 anyway.
Yeah, that probably won't be going 210 if we get the Hawk into us.
Into us, yeah. Well, maybe Gil have a bad day.
You just play that little cut. Avoid doubles.
That's that. And at Gateway, where the trouble is usually on your right, it sets up nicely for you. You know, Belle Reve, you got to play a right to left ball. Gateway, play that.
I haven't been cutting it that much lately.
Well, even if you hit it dead straight, there's so much room on the left on most holes. Just think about it.
Yeah,
Let's pull
they're
up
big
number
fairways.
1 here. Room out to the left. Let's pull up number 2 here. Room out to the left. Let's pull up number 3 here.
And I always hit it by the
Room out to
bunker for some
left.
reason.
Par 4, par 3 on 4. Room out to the left on 5. Room out to the left on 6. Par 3. 7 could be problematic. You got to clear the shrubs. Or 8, excuse me. And then room out to the left on 9. How do you do?
There's a lot of room out there.
On the left, I mean, in general, but as far as the miss is left. That works for you.
Yeah, if I drive the ball well, we'll see.
And then what's the rules? It's rolling it in the fairway.
Yeah.
Rolling it in the fairway, down in the rough, 75% of the handicap. If you're over 60, you can play whatever the senior tees are. But Sean, who's going to set up the scorecards, your handicap, you don't get as many pops because your handicap lowers with the tee. So it's a factor to consider.
Right, but I mean, Iggs playing from the forward tees has got to be that's an advantage into it.
Well, it depends where he puts them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sometimes the forward tee is like 10 yards in front of the white tees.
Well, I think par 3s will be the biggest help. If you can take a 160-yard shot and turn that to a 145 or 140-yard shot.
This man speaks the truth. This man speaks the truth.
Well, I'm giddy now.
Yeah, I can tell.
My short game sucks anyway, so what's the difference between 130 and 110?
You're so negative. KG in O-Town, are you bullish on your match?
No, I feel
Will you take it on Frog Dad or something?
I wish. Steve Bryan?
Steve Bryan. Does anybody know Steve Bryan?
Never met the gentleman.
Maybe
I'm
I
not
have.
familiar with Steve either, but I was out at Gateway Saturday afternoon, early evening.
Getting work in. I respect
Getting work
that.
in, yeah.
How are the conditions?
Poor to quite poor.
No. What was the temperature?
Mid 40s.
Mid 40s.
Mid to upper 40s.
And the Hawk, if the Hawk is 15 miles an hour in St. Louis, it's about 50 at Gateway. You can multiply it by 3.
Yeah, Hawk was up big time. It was an uncomfortable round. One of those rounds where the scorecard discarded the scorecard by about a whole 4.
Now you want to post that number.
Yeah. So
Pulling it up.
it was ugly, so not bullish.
It could be
My favorite hole in the property.
Yeah, take your pick, but if you have the Hawk out there, that's rough. Very rarely do I play golf on a day where I absolutely do not want to, but I do not have a choice this Sunday.
Yeah, I played.
This would be one based on the forecast. Although the forecast has improved this morning. I looked at it before coming into the station.
Yeah, it looks like it's just gonna be a little chilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be all right as long as the sun's
The
out.
Hawk, though.
Oh, yeah.
The Hawk.
I played Wednesday.
The Gateway?
No, it was ridiculous.
Where did you play on Wednesday?
I have a friend.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I sense something.
Different private course.
Where?
I played at Algonquin. My buddy is. My buddy has.
This is one side of the tracks over there, and this is the other side of the tracks over
Hey,
there.
you're just playing country clubs lately.
Yep, that's what it sounds like.
That and then the worst golf course I ever played, as far as Tennessee. So there's a stark difference from one round to another. But the wind was so bad. It was a 125-yard hole. I clubbed up to hit 9-iron, the wind in the face, and I hit it as high. I didn't want to hit it that high, but I did. I hit it super high. It ballooned up and started coming back at us.
Oh, U-turn.
Yeah, it U-turned, and so it was 125 yards. I took 9-iron. I had 60 yards to the hole remaining. Parred.
He parred it. Nice.
Yeah, got up and down. Got up and down.
Somebody is angry. Not that that is necessarily breaking news, but it's angry about Iggy playing golf. Boots seriously gets to play the senior tees, plus his fake handicap. This is unbelievable. That's from the 314.
Well,
I mean, he is a senior.
It is Cletus, I think, who came up with that. Cletus is the one that said 60 and over.
But you are a senior.
I am. But I never play senior
Even if it were
tees.
65, you would still qualify.
Yeah, I never play senior tees, though.
And then the handicap slides with the senior tees. And the handicap is not fake.
No, it's not.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say on that. But thank you for listening.
I mean, I'll play the white tees. I really don't care.
Let's see. Oh, somebody just sent in a post. What is this thing? Is this Eli Drinkwitz?
Yeah, in a bulldozer. I saw that.
Wish Plowsy under it says Wish Plowsy was here or there to discuss this. What is he doing in a bulldozer?
I'm not sure.
Is he flipping recruits? Flipping recruits. Bulldozing through.
Just flip
Is that what the post is?
I have no
Is this
idea.
him or is this like has he been photoshopped?
No, I think that's real. I saw that over the weekend.
This is on the fan page?
Yeah, that's
No,
where
this
I
is
saw
in the
it
text
originally.
inbox.
Oh, okay, let me.
It comes from, let's see, 618. There's a lot of 618 activity at the moment, but this is one of the 618s.
Is that can't be real?
I think it was, and I think it was from the Mizzou football Instagram, and maybe said something along the lines of "We're building something special here."
Goodness.
Okay.
How can you not be fired up?
Well, South Dakota is coming up. Iggy is terrible. Why waste energy worrying about what tees he's playing from? Jesus, that's from Andy, and he's in St. Peter's.
I didn't even bring it up.
It's kind of a backhanded. That was really a backhanded standing up.
I think the text was directed towards the guy who texted in who was mad about
Got it.
your Iggy's situation, not yours. Iggy's whatever. Iggy is an 18. I mean, it's trying to think of who I play with. I would buy stock in Jackson's game. Iggy's got a wide delta, wide being relatively speaking, but is like a great partner in a 4-ball kind of event. And as you know, Town, I haven't played with you enough to really know. Sell stock. Plowhawk is probably not as good as an 18. Like if Iggy and Plowhawk, they're both playing at the same number. But if you guys were to play 10 times, you're going to beat him 7 or 8 times.
I agree.
I don't think anybody's, lying about their handicap on this dais at all. But I mean, it's fine. All it does is just add to the amusement. Iggy, can I caddy for you? You're taking down Gee. I'll help keep those nerves in check and make sure Cletus does not finger you unless you want it. That's from our Milagro January 2023 Listener of the Month, Beer Cats.
Well, there'll be no nerves and Cletus won't be in our group. I don't think we're allowing caddies, not of carts.
He can walk.
You can walk. Yeah, it was Carlos Spicy when he wanted to be in my bag. I enjoy my time with Carlos Spicy when we're out there.
He's a Hall of Famer.
And walking.
Yeah.
Now, if it's cold and windy, that walk isn't necessarily as pleasant.
That's
But
rough.
I really don't want to be in a cart. I really enjoy walking.
Gateway's easy.
Gateway's easy to walk.
Oh, yeah. It's as flat as it is. Yeah, that's...
So you're rejecting Beer Cats' kind offer?
Well, yeah. I don't want a caddy walking and I'm driving. I'll be up on my ball and you'll be 100 yards behind me.
Guys, I tune in and I see my guy KG in O-Town on the show. Sup, KG. Sup, Larry. That's from Larry Thornton.
What's up, Larry? I'm a big
You know
Larry guy.
Larry Thornton?
He's been very supportive towards
Is that
me,
right?
And I appreciate that.
Did he say hi to himself?
I think it's a play on me saying, sup, man, child, sup, Tim. I think.
But he said sup Larry. He said sup to himself.
Yeah, I know, but I used to say back in the day,
Oh, okay.
the man child. I believe that's what that's in reference to. You can text in 314-881-TMA5. That's 314-881-TMA5. If you want to call in, not much of a fortress today. Let's be transparent with the audience. With the Plowhawk vacationing, with Doug vacationing, there is no one in the Horton Watkins studio. And you just call in, and Jackson, what is the filtering process?
Hopefully, like, it actually pops up with a number, so I know that, like, it's someone calling that's not like we get weird calls sometimes. That's the best way I can describe it. And I'm basically, like, not going to be able to answer, so you're immediately going to go on hold.
Oh, nice.
And all hell could break. If I can recognize the number, then that. But, like, we could have someone who's, like, trying to call into the Riz Show or something.
I used to think you were
on
being
air.
facetious about that, and I took a couple Riz Show calls last week back there.
They have less than zero interest in chewing the fat.
I didn't think Riz took calls.
I don't know what the situation is. I don't know what, because it
But
seems
maybe
like
I'm off on that.
they come in like
Oh, is that right?
spurts.
Maybe it's for
giveaways
Yeah.
or something, right? Because like they come in spurts, and I'm like, oh boy.
I think they do 2 or 3 contests during the day.
Right, so that would make sense. So that's why I guess I get the calls. But like I say the morning after, and it's not like, oh, sorry, wrong number. It's they just hang up. They just have like no interest.
Hey, how about this? No to Beer Cats caddying, but yes to Hot Wife Autumn caddying. That's from Uncle Cucker.
It's not who's caddying. It's that there's 64 golfers the first day. So there's no carts. Now, if you want to pay for a cart, because I think Sean got pissed off last year every time Cletus came out and just grab a cart. He's like,
yeah, I bet.
We're out of carts. And he'd have somebody come out to the course and get the cart from him. So I think we're better off no caddies.
So you will probably have Mike Lee in your pairing.
Well, who's playing? Who's going off first? Last 2 years has been you and I.
It's me and Jackson this year.
All right. So I guess I could have Cletus in my group.
I thought you were playing with the Plowhawk.
Yeah, you're playing with the Plowhawk.
Oh, okay. Then I won't have Mike Lee in my group.
I thought Mike Lee's usually with Guy.
I think he is, actually.
Ken is having a realization on the air live.
What can play? Well, I don't know where he's going to sit.
I think
Is that a new report?
You, Guy, and Mike Lee will be splitting a card. And at this point, you become a huge favorite.
3 of you?
You might want to forfeit.
Yeah, I just... it's something silly, but it gets to me every time
that goddaughter didn't wind up getting married in
every time I
January.
get in my car, I got to turn up. He turns the keys off.
So so you, Guy, and Mike Lee.
Maybe I'll sit with Plowsy.
Jackson, don't let the heavies get you down about going on a boys' scrapbooking weekend with Frog Dad, Oatmeal, Gareth, Herbs Hog, Jedediah, and Boner Mike. The Waddlers texting in to bitch and moan, spend all day on the fan page trying to sleep with one another and arguing with teenagers about not wanting an Applebee's fried trio appetizer to be the name of their favorite Pop Warner outdoor soccer team. Thanks. That comes from Dragon Slayer, recently graduated from Cletus's basement hostel for divorced dainty married men.
Boner Mike is an incredible name.
But not one of the members of
I
this
have a
group.
buddy named Mike who was on the trip, but I guess we can call him I don't want to call him Boner Mike. I don't care what people. I had a great time. That's all that matters.
Steve Bryan is who you're playing, KG in O-Town?
Yeah, Steve Bryan.
Somebody just sent in a screenshot of Steve. I guess the Loomster sent this in of Steve Bryan winning an event. You can take a look at this.
Oh boy, you're screwed.
Had a great time with my buddy Kevin Blaze today. We both won our divisions in the Grint Tour. Is this real?
No.
There's a Grint Tour?
But Kevin Blaze is real.
Well, maybe the Grint Tour is real. The Grint Tour Gateway Classic. Fun to try competitive golf again after all these years, and super proud of my guy for his first ever attempt at competition. You're playing against a champion on the Grint Tour.
Yeah, a Grint
I
champion.
think it's time to start looking ahead to the Bubba Watson bracket.
Ball strikers?
Yeah.
See if there's a round 2. Get away from it.
Maybe he'll forfeit. Maybe he didn't pay.
Yeah, Sean is going to send me the list of people who have not paid yet at Gateway National, so there will be a public shaming on the TMA fan page as soon as I get that list. For those of you who have not called Gateway National to pay your fee, I believe it's $129. That includes your greens fee for this round, cart, putting green is included this year. It's fun. Range bucket, and I believe like a hot dog and the entry fee. And we have $2,500 in prize money in Jackson. I know you've been away in Sparta, but last I was told on Friday, I haven't looked at it over the weekend, so maybe it changed. KJ Notown, could you take a look at that Gallup poll? But it was like 68% wanted the
Big dog
fee? Yeah. Everything goes to the winner, and if they want to chop it up, what I would say on that is the chop is all, like if people, when they get to the Final Four, they want to chop it up, all 4 have to agree. That's the way that it works at a poker table. It has to be unanimous.
Yeah.
If 3 of the 4 say, let's chop, and 1 says no, no chop. So that'll be about $2,500.
I love to hear it. That's exactly what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
That really, I mean, there's going to be some serious sweat going on.
I love that.
On some holes.
Like, you win a club championship, and I don't even know what you win. You win like $200 in shop credit, for real. I think that's about what it is. So you're playing for the pride / honor.
Right.
Like, one of the times Joe Buck came in on the podcast, my podcast, we spent the first 20 minutes talking because he was emotionally wrecked about losing, I think, on the 36th hole of his club championship.
Oof.
And it had happened 3 weeks earlier. And he said, you know, my wife at first was kind of supportive, and then I brought it up 3 weeks later, and she's like, okay, we need to have a talk. We need to move on from this. He's not getting any, as if there was some kind of dollar figure that would impact his life anyway. He just wanted his name on the...
Yeah, the name on the plaque.
Right.
That's what you want. Yeah, that's what it's
you
for.
want to be a fan page club champion.
No doubt.
Jennings, the namesake of the tournament, won in 2017. Iggy, tell me if I'm wrong on these. I'm pretty sure Cletus won in 2018, Guy in 2019, Aunt Peg in 2020, Todd Callahan in 2021, and Chris Heck last year. I believe that is our order.
That is the order, yes.
Champions.
No repeat champs.
I think Chris Heck is live to be a repeat champion. I think Chris Heck is live to be a repeat champion. But I can see him over there on the bracket because he's in my bracket. What is it? I can't see the name. Thank you, KJ Notown. He's playing Kevin Roth, who's a 6.5. So he'll be given a couple pops. But Kevin Roth at 6.5, he's got to be a decent player unless he's vanity capping. Yeah. That's going to be a test. But Chris Heck's distance travels. And I recall the match he played against the Plowhawk. I was in that group. And the wind was dead into us. It probably took 30 yards off my tee shot, and Chris Heck was still on the doorstep of the green. And I'm going, this guy's legitimate. And unless he's got some horrible short game, he is. And he ran his way in. He ran his way to the championship.
Yeah, I actually think that there's a repeat champion, but I don't think it's Chris Heck.
Oh wow!
I think it's Cletus Watson. You get Cletus up on the forward tees.
Yeah, that's a nice point.
Because his short game, the way he gets up and down, is filthy. If he can, just have 150 in every single hole, he's not going to make a lot of mistakes. He's not a mistake kind of golfer.
He thinks through the game in one of the ways that smart players think through the game, at least like who's a double digit, which is I take double bogey out of play, take double bogey out of play.
Yep.
So he has the thought process that I know, that comes with playing year after year. It's this Sunday at Gateway National. Call the Gateway National Pro Shop if you are participating and have not paid yet. Conditions may be challenging for the first time in a long time. I feel like every time we've done this thing, Iggy, the weather's been pretty good. Maybe it's been windy, but it's always windy at Gateway.
Yeah, but it's been warm.
But yeah, this is a different set of... it's hard to hear Jack Then there's a word that I can't say on the radio, I don't think. Over the leathers, breathing. That's Patrick at Immaculata. I'd be honest with you, Patrick. If I heard it, I would tell you. I just don't hear it. I just got to be honest with you.
Well, we all breathe.
I have to have a cart because I can't walk with a cooler, cigars, weed, and a speaker. That's Steve. And Wildwood Steve, Chairman Steve, he will get a cart. New rule should be a gross birdie beats a net birdie. That's from Mr. Licks. Mr. Licks, I appreciate that. That certainly would favor the, single-digit handicap most likely. But we've had the rules the way they are. It's a loose event of fellowship, and we don't want to complicate it. We pretty much have some simple rules. Down in the rough, up in the fairway, 75% of the handicap, which will be allotted by Gateway Nationals Pro Shop, so you don't even have to worry about it. That'll be taken care of on the scorecards, and seniors 60 years and older can play up. But they'll lose probably a stroke or two that they'll get by doing that, just FYI.
Right.
Andy Hanselman texted me yesterday. He goes, have you given any thought to playing combined tees? No, because then it complicates it, and you have people getting confused, and we're just trying to keep it as simple as possible.
Right.
And I would say you play. Wouldn't you agree with this? If we played like a combined blue-white, that's certainly going to benefit people who can hit it further. I mean, that kind of goes without saying.
Big time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a fun event.
Right.
We don't need all these rules.
But, you throw in the 2,500, and then when it gets the goal is to keep interest in it when the 5 of us on the show are eliminated.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I really would, and maybe this speaks to my social calendar at this point, but assuming I kind of knew one of the people in the finals and it hadn't been just, like, chopped up, or the Final Four even, and they're playing in a foursome, I would probably go out there and watch it.
Yeah, I think...
serious. Because the part of the sport of the whole thing is who can handle pressure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and the social media.
It's like when I'm playing poker against somebody, it's a big pot, and I see them reach for their chips, and I see the handshake, and I'm going, oh, how do you do? Those will be mine.
We played a lot of poker in
between the cornhole and Gareth's Morning Wood.
Right, yeah, we played. I got cleaned out. It was bad.
Is that right?
I'm not
you
good.
Weak?
Gareth plays aggressively, and I fell for it. I'm not a good poker player.
Gareth's aggressive? He's Scandinavian gentleman?
No. South Africa.
World Series of Poker, those Scandinavians, those would be the ones that...
Sunglasses, right.
Well, the sunglasses are on everybody, but the Scandinavians, hyper aggro. Hey, Tim, can you ask Steve if he went down on my wife this weekend while I was at the barn? Thanks for covering Alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves. He also says, hey, Gape, you lie. Tell us about the ass-eating and protein shakes.
Huh?
There's none of that. There's no salad toss. I guess we had some salad, but but it wasn't in the way you think. Just some greens. Try to get some roughage going on in there. Only 2 bathrooms, so that was kind of that was frustrating at times. But what are you gonna do?
Guys, will it still be a quote-unquote fun event when Iggy is getting ragdolled by hole 3 on Sunday? That's from Herb's Hog.
Well, by hole 3, I'll be 3 down. That's not ragdolled yet.
I just don't necessarily think that's the case.
No, I mean, I
really don't.
I could get a few holes out of them.
In a net event, anybody can win. Now, if you're playing him straight up, I'd go, there's absolutely no chance in the world. In a net event, if the handicaps are accurate, you're flipping coins in 32 matches. Theoretically.
Right. It's as fair as it can be.
Right.
And it's
a net event. This is not an accomplishment to beat somebody, nor is it a failure to lose somebody because you're getting pops.
Yeah. I'm trying
to drive that home. So you could absolutely win. Everybody in here knows that Guy is a better player than you. That's not a shot at you. It's a compliment to him. But you're getting a bunch of pops, and that changes the game. And especially when you have your holes where you're going to blow up. But if you get your standard bogeys, and he pars as well, and you're getting a par, a net par, well, how do you do? And maybe he bogeys, and you win it. I don't know. I'm just not ruling you out. I'm dead serious.
No, I think we'll go at least 15, 16 holes.
There it is.
And I think that losing out on a couple pops for the forward tees is worth it 100%. I think it's total, especially if it's windy. You gotta be.
I wonder if I can. I might be able to calculate that in the break and what the numbers will look like.
If
you do that in the Gin app, I don't know if Grant allows you to.
If it's anything below like 3 or 4, sure.
It'll 100% be because it's 75% of the cap. Andy Hanselman just texted me, "Whoops." Hi has a whoops. What does that mean? Hi was a character in Raising Arizona. I assume good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nicolas Cage, feature done on him in 60 Minutes last night. I have no idea what that was about, by the way. Anybody watch that?
No, I know there's a new movie he's in.
It was so strange.
It
was almost like I know he's unique, but that 60 Minutes just had this like it was like watching Inside Edition, just like a feature on Nicolas Cage.
They went to his house, right?
Yeah, there was really no point.
So weird. He's a weird. He's like having he's got weird issues. That's the whole thing.
Well, he went bust.
Right. That's that whole thing. Yeah. I love Nicolas Cage though. I think Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage's best performance is
Leaving Las Vegas.
When he
probably
suckled the booze off of Elizabeth Shue's breastises.
Yeah. But he's really good in Raising
You had to
Arizona.
enjoy that part, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't think she got naked enough for being a hooker.
Clip that off.
Iggy and I both know that Nicolas Cage's opus was an 8mm.
His opus.
God, that was hard to watch, that movie.
James Gandolfini. Ooh.
Con Air.
Con Air. Yeah, that's a great one. I think Nicolas Cage is great.
Honeymoon in Vegas and Leaving Las Vegas. Does any actor have 2 Las Vegases in their credits? Go.
Ooh, I'd have to think. The Hangover only went to Vegas once, so they would be out. I feel like De Niro somehow would get in there with Casino, and there's got to be another movie where he's been in Vegas.
Jimmy Kahn was already gone. Spoiler alert! By the time they went to Las Vegas and
Pacino.
Godfather 2.
Pacino, Godfather, and then in Ocean's 13.
Yes, there it is.
Bingo. Nailed
Big.
it. Yeah,
Big
that was
for you.
huge. That was huge.
You can text in your movie trivia. Engineer Design Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. Contact the EDF Group. Email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com. As the company moves forward as the EDF Group, please check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. Andy Hanselman's text was, Guy has a torn meniscus, here comes Iggy. That was Andy Hanselman's text. I guess he mistyped it. That's what whoops meant.
Yeah, Cletus told me that, but he'll play like 2 days and then take 2 days off. And I think he said the doctor said you're not going to hurt it anymore, so if you play.
So you don't think that injury will impact the match?
Well, I think Cletus told me he shot 4 under a couple days ago. So obviously it's not hurting him that much.
He's like Tiger in 2008.
Yeah, just a warrior. But that Iggy, that shouldn't. Either way, you have to play your game.
Yeah, well, my shoulder hurts. I don't know.
Oh, you got a slap tear too?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I bruised it.
Well, there you go.
Just pops up every once in a while.
It's going to be it'll be a 30 for 30 about this. Tim, if your poker opponent begins to breathe heavily into a microphone, what hands are you putting them on? Thanks. That's from the bastard, James Hahn. I really don't hear it. If I heard it, I would say something.
You ever play poker with a guy with a microphone in front of him?
I wouldn't suggest
Probably
it.
not. Probably a camera, I would imagine, but not a microphone. Whole camera, that is. Bill's hole. Do you hear it, KG Noto?
I don't hear it.
See, so now when you're listening to the show, do you hear it?
When I'm listening live, I've literally never heard it. If I go back and podcast, if I've got my AirPods in, every once in a while I'll hear it. But listening live, I've never heard it.
I don't know what to say.
Hear the ice. Sometimes I hear the ice rattling sometimes.
The ice in the coffee?
That's just, you got water over
No,
there.
when I do that, you can hear it.
Morning, Tim. Why don't you go ahead and send me your cell number? I'd like to be on the long list of people who text you directly instead of having to text into the show, because I'm sure that's something you love. Kind of like people making weird and perverted TMA-related jokes directly on your personal Facebook page for your family and real friends to see. Thanks. That comes from Dragon Slayer. The texting certainly doesn't stand out to me as much as when people drop by and make, I don't even know how to describe the comments on pictures of my family. I don't know.
Quit sending us naked video of males, okay?
Frank was irritated.
It came out hotter than I thought it would. I lowered that pot a little bit. It came out hot, Frank.
Oh, God. Let's see. How does KG listen to the show? I only hear it through the app, not over the air. That's from the 314.
I stream live through the TMA STL app.
Which is what this gentleman was just saying. He did.
Yeah.
Assuming this is a gentleman, very good chance. 0.02% chance.
Well, just on YouTube. And again, that's the new software. They're trying to iron out the kinks.
It can't possibly be right.
Right.
This is next to Courtney's show, I think we're the most listened to among women in St. Louis. I think. I got maybe
Right.
I have different.
Well, our content is female driven.
That's correct. That is absolutely. Guys, I can envision the hot game of strip poker in Sparta Saturday night with each of these horny dudes trying their best to lose in a bid to show off their 20-something dad bods. That's for Minute Bowl eligible.
Look, a hand is a hand.
No, it was that was not the case. We were playing for dollars and cents, and I got cleaned out. So
Which one has the nipples?
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
He's got a little bit.
Oatmeal.
Is it nipples or areola?
I guess areola.
Is that
Nipple
right?
itself is, I guess, normal. I don't know. He's a gentleman with a bigger nipple.
Is he bulky?
No, in great shape.
And yet has big nipples.
Yeah,
areola.
just kind of.
That's odd.
Yeah.
That's not usually the way it works.
It's yeah.
Is he unhappy about his areolas?
Nah, no. There's plenty to be unhappy about in this world. Nipples not being one of them. No, he's a great guy, and yeah, he's built he's in really good shape. So it's certainly not a weight problem. I think it's just genetics.
Who won the throat RPM contest on this trip? That's from Little Judy Suckins.
Little Judy. That text is worth it just for the name alone. It's funny is all my friends, 12 people on the trip. 11 of them are going into work today, and people are like, "Oh, how was your vacation?" "Oh, it was great," and that's the end of their conversation. Meanwhile, I was just asked who set the record for throat RPM, and claims of strip poker. So, but hey, it's the cost of doing business.
Amen. Are Doug and Iggy picking out names for the J Junior Fan Page Club Championship? Oh,
that would be interesting.
I thought about seeing if we wanted to run a bracket challenge for it.
Bracket challenge would be interesting. The thing, it's tough because it's handicapped.
Yeah.
So it's net. So
And
it
it
really
draws
is like
out
going
over
heads or tails, heads or tails, heads or tails.
I think a DFS showdown, each of them.
They can
picking
price people
6.
out?
Yeah.
Boy, that Chris Heck is Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm.
Right, Iggy can pick his 6 and Doug picks it out of a box. I think it would
That'd be good.
I mean, it would take
we
a
gotta
long.
go through the process of pricing people.
I'll just pick it out of the box too.
And it'll take a long time to find out who actually won the competition. But it will be funny to ask Doug, hey,
The issue is, I'm looking, I'm going, oh yeah, I'd take Chris Heck, and then I go, I don't know everybody, so I don't know.
Right.
Like Fred Friedman, who Iggy beat 7-6 or something, is a 1.3 and shot 85 from the whites, is the one number up there that I go, what in the world? What do you got over there?
Clousy's big on this match.
What's that?
Milton and Basler.
That is something else there. Because you have Mark Milton's questionable 19.3, and I can't see because the marker is in gold, and I guess I'm colorblind. But Will's like a 1 something, right?
Yeah, 1-3.
He might be one of the lowest because PJ Prodan and Guy are scratches. Yeah, that'll really put the theory to the test there. I don't know. I don't know what I would take because I've never played with Will Basler. Could walk up to me and I wouldn't know who he is. But
Right.
I've played with Mark, and Mark is a wide delta guy, kind of like Iggy. Mark Milton's a great member guest kind of partner.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's going to have his blow up holes and go, okay, he's out of the hole, but then there's going to be holes where he might actually get birdie and get like a 3-2. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a DFS on this. Ant Peg at 8.4 is dangerous.
Oh yeah, boy.
Just
Talk
with
about
that distance. That distance will travel through the hawk.
Yeah.
It's all presented by Michelob Ultra. It's taking place this Sunday at Gateway National. And don't forget, at the outset of the program, for those of you just joining us, we announced that we have this TMA Day at the Ballpark. $30 field box tickets for TMA Day at the Ballpark. Cardinals and Giants, June 14th, Busman special. And that $30, these tickets are usually $46. So there it is. Jesse Kioski texted me to tell me what the normal price is. So getting a huge discount on this. $30 includes your ticket plus $12 in Cardinal cash, which is money for your concessions. We have 2 sections to ourselves, sections 128 and 129. We will be broadcasting from Salt and Smoke at Ballpark Village that morning.
Cardinals and Giants will play at 12:15. The field box tickets are $30. You get $12 in Cardinal cash. I have the link on the TMA fan page for those of you not on Facebook or not on the fan page. It's tmastl.com, and that's where you can go to get your tickets. And even if you hate this show, have no affiliation with this show, just take advantage of what is a ridiculous deal. It is Wednesday, June 14th, Busman special, Cardinals and Giants. Cardinals in San Francisco to play 4 against the Giants. Starting this evening, we will discuss the weekend that was in St. Louis sports on the other side of the break. I don't really know what was great. I don't know what the best part about it was. We'll figure that out on the other side of the break. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After, closing out the Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hi, I'm Joe Buck. Sound Story gives you and your family, brothers, sisters, and or moms, grandchildren, whatever, the chance to come into the Hubbard Studios in Creve Coeur and tell stories of your childhood, your memories of the lessons your mom taught you, and the love she has given you. Sound Story is an hour-long interview hosted by your choice of Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, or Jackson Burkett at the Hubbard Studios in Creve Coeur, and it couldn't be easier to purchase. Just get your gift card at mysoundstory.com. Every year, we try to come up with the best gift to show our moms how much we appreciate everything they've sacrificed and all they've done for our families. With Sound Story, you can give a gift that mom will love and everyone in the family will love as well. And right now, all you have to do is enter promo code TMA to save 15% on your Mother's Day Sound Story gift card. Just go to mysoundstory.com and enter promo code TMA for 15% off your Mother's Day gift that she and your family will never forget.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229 or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
Hey, St. Louis, Eddie McVeigh here from Maggie O'Brien's. When you head downtown for a concert or cards or blues game, and now for the St. Louis City soccer game, please come see us at Maggie O'Brien's before and after your event. Take our shuttle to and from or stay in-house and watch your favorite team on our multiple high-def TVs. We look forward to seeing you soon at one of our 2 locations in Sunset Hills on South Lindbergh or downtown at the corner of Market and 20th Street. Union Station is next to us.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and I am thrilled to have new clients on board Longo Biggs Injury Law. CD Longo and Doug Biggs. And Doug, the thing I want our audience to know is that you guys are local and you guys are different. Tell our audience how you're different.
Yeah, Tim, both CD and I are from St. Louis area, born and raised in the South City area or the South County area, and we are also thrilled to be part of the TMA family now. If anyone signs up with us for an injury case, their case is treated like they are family. We get to know you, we get to know the ins and outs of your case, and make sure we represent you like you are part of our family. We're not like one of the large firms in the area who might take your case and just treat you like another number or another file. You'll get our personal attention. It's either CD and I who will handle your case directly. And if you are injured in an accident, please remember us. You can visit us at longobiggs.com, and that's Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan with Doug Vaughn to tell you about a new TMA sponsor, and that sponsor is Green Envy, a locally owned and operated company that can take great care of your lawn this spring. They've been in business, Doug, in St. Louis for over a decade.
Well, they know the conditions that exist here in Missouri. It's hard to have a perfect lawn in Missouri. It gets really cold, it gets really hot, it gets really wet, and really dry. If you don't have people that know what the conditions are like in Missouri, you're going to have trouble. But Green Envy, these people have got it figured out, I tell you.
Yeah, they really do. They treated my lawn earlier this month, and they can do the exact same thing for you. And Green Envy is a company that both Doug and I are using to make sure that our lawns look absolutely spectacular this coming spring and summer. You can work with Green Envy as well. 636-757-1600. That's 636-757-1600. Green Envy. Engineer Design Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
That ball is gone.
Blow off work and join the morning after at Busch Stadium on Wednesday, June 14th, when the Cardinals take on the Giants for a day game. You can get field tickets for $30, which includes $12 in cards cash. Maybe use it to buy helmet nachos. You'll sit with other TMA listeners too. Before the game, head over to Salt and Smoke at Ballpark Village for a pre-game live TMA broadcast from 7-ish to 10 with a special breakfast and drink menu from Salt and Smoke. Not to completely overload you with information, but here goes. Head to the TMA STL shop to get your best fans in baseball shirt for our big day at a big discount. Use the code CARDS to get the shirt for only $20. Plus, all shirts will ship to Hubbard, and you'll pick them up at Salt and Smoke the morning of the game. Find out more about all this stuff at TMASTL.com. The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com. Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Some kids have and some kids don't, and some of us are wondering why. And mom won't watch the news at night. There's too much stuff that's making her cry.
Watch the news, man. Do it. Don't cry. It's Ryan Kelly Morning After. This is the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. If you're in the market for an appliance, look no further than Appliance Discounters and their 80,000 square foot warehouse full of GE appliances and other major brands ready for delivery. Shop online at theappliancediscounters.com, where pricing has been adjusted to beat everybody in the competition. 80,000 square foot warehouse. If your refrigerator goes out, your washer dryer goes out, your dishwasher goes out, you're not like, oh, well, let me get this and take care of it here in a week or two. No, you need it right away. Well, the Appliance Discounters can do that for you. They have 5 St. Louis area locations, and they will get it to you quick, fast, in a hurry. And I can speak to that because my dishwasher went out, and then I had a new dishwasher from the Appliance Discounters within a couple days, installed by the great people who work with John and Denise Bradley. It's theappliancediscounters.com. 8 o'clock hour sponsor on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Just like Brush Creek Valley Farms is a wonderful sponsor of the Ryan Kelly Morning After, isn't it, Iggy?
They are.
Wow.
They had a great video. You got to follow them on Instagram, Brush Creek Valley. They went through the whole process of where they store their meat and how they ship it out to you. And I didn't know this, but they said, even if you're not going to be home, the way they box it, that it will stay frozen for up to 12 hours.
No, right. Wow.
So don't, I'm not going to be home that day. I'm not going to be home till like 4. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Brush Creek Valley Farms TMA box has a new look. Get this, 5 pounds of ground beef, 2 ham steaks, 2 sirloins, 8 bratwurst, and 2 pork chops. So what you need to do is go to brushcreekvalley.com, search for TMA at the top of the homepage. You'll be directed straight to the TMA box and apply the code TMA10 for 10% off. Also, subscription option. Order what you want.
Do it.
If that didn't turn you on, I want some brats, but I also want some T-bones and a couple fillets. You just put your own box together.
Do it.
Same 10%. TMA 10 when you check out. Brush Creek Valley Farms also offers a subscription. So TMA 10 for both of them. Brush Creek Valley Farms, high-quality meats for a lowbrow audience.
There it is. It's in the books.
10% off no matter what you want to do.
Yeah, you might as well do it, is what you should do. And if you're feeling sluggish on a Monday morning, that's understandable. That's kind of part of the deal. Well, if you are feeling sluggish, then go to lowtusa.com, because feeling sluggish can be a symptom of low testosterone, and you can work with Mentality. I went out to Mentality and got checked out, find out everything was good on that front. Low on vitamin D, though. Low on vitamin D. Well, at least I got checked out, and it was super easy, super friendly. lowtusa.com is where you go. It's a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. When you feel like you don't have the energy or drive to keep up with your kids after work, that can be low testosterone. It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy, even if you've tried testosterone before. Not everyone understands blood chemistry in men's bodies. Mentality can help. Go online at lowtusa.com. Compete at work and in sports like you did years ago with the help of Mentality. lowtusa.com. Our lead story this morning, we have our TMA Day at the Ballpark. What a huge promotion this is. Even if you hate the show, take advantage of the show. $30 field box tickets for TMA Day at the Ballpark, June 14th, Cardinals and Giants. It's $30 for tickets that are normally $46. It's a 12:15 busman special, Wednesday, June 14th. And we have two sections. Sections 128 and 129. We'll be doing TMA Live from Salt and Smoke at Ballpark Village that morning. The field box tickets are $30, plus, in addition to that, you get $12 in Cardinal cash. So then if I do the math, Jackson, if the tickets are normally $46 and you're getting $12 worth of concessions, that's $58 for $30.
Exactly.
That's what our math is.
Bingo.
That's what our math is.
Yeah.
Is that 49% off? Somebody's going to have to check with me on that. Get it right now, tmastl.com, and you can have the morning after's day at the ballpark and tickets, and buy up as many as you want. They're $30, and just have a pony with us. My wife texted me during the commercial break, "That sounds like something we need to go to." I said, "You're damn right we will, sister." And as far as I'm concerned, that conveys to me that she is looking for Sapphic play. That's how there's only one way to interpret that text.
Some may say you're jumping to conclusions,
Right.
Tim, but really you're just making the logical
Thank
connection.
you. After 15 years with one lady, you know when she's looking for the soft skin.
Right, and that's
of
how
a
they
friend.
signal it. That's exactly how they would
right.
signal it.
By texting their pervert husband while he does an HD2 show. Wow. The text in, okay. I don't know what's going on. Who anybody have the text inbox?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
I still don't know the password. So.
Who has the text inbox up during the show? Just me and you? That's it?
Yeah.
What does Plowhawk have up?
Twitter. Drink. Power Mizzou.
Is he on Power Mizzou during the show, really?
More likely Tiger Board. Just kind of firing shots, but yeah, making sure that I'm sure he has a tweet deck going on with a bunch of different things.
Jackson, tell the people what's going on.
This one I haven't seen in a long time. The breathing comments are at an all-time high. Like, and it's not just from like your classic goofballs. It's from
Harrison Brother Master.
Right, exactly. It's from like, I wouldn't say like.
You say credible listeners.
Sure, I get it.
People we would associate with.
Right. Yeah, this is.
I don't know what to say. Obviously, you know, for example, with the what are some of the things we've been tending to? Oh, the YouTube volume.
Yeah.
I told the people, email me, please do, and I don't even know how many, but a lot of people emailed me. They either use the TMASTL app, where you can send a message to the hosts, or just emailed me at tmckernan@stl.com. Unless it's incorrect, Marshall Rice, head engineer, Hubbard Radio, St. Louis, said, "You're right. Something happened when you guys switched from one studio to another. He went and he reset it, and I believe it's been taken care of. If it hasn't, bring it to my attention." The TMA all day thing. Tommy and I are getting together either today or Tuesday to discuss a bunch of stuff, and then that's going to be tended to. So if the breathing thing is real, we want to tend to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, I mean, I don't know why. If I would like to think people know we're not lying. If I honestly don't hear it, I don't hear it. But obviously, a bunch of people hear it, and so we just want to fix it.
Yeah,
I just
I
don't know how to
mean-
fix it. It's so odd that a lot of people hear it, but we don't hear
And when
it.
I'm not talking,
Sometimes I hear it.
when I'm not talking, the microphone is not even by me. I don't sit right here the whole show if I'm not talking. I'm over here. So I don't
Well,
know.
we'll work to try to fix it.
Yeah, well,
but I don't know. I
so
don't know what to. I don't know what to do. That's the thing.
I didn't notice anything, but I my ADD makes me focus on one thing and one thing only. I can't listen to other things, so like I could have no idea what anyone's talking
I don't
about.
even
if
hear it
I'm
in my own
locked in.
headset. So
If I'm locked into something, like I might not hear it.
Have you heard it?
Not today.
Yeah,
Not today.
But we've never gotten more texts about it.
Yeah,
than
today, and that's surprising because usually if it's like if I see a couple texts started come in, I'll listen for it, and then sometimes I'll hear it. Obviously today is a little different because I'm on the board, but I have not heard it yet today.
Harrison's brother Master is angry. It's obviously real. Do you literally think we've been making this up for the last year? And that's the thing. I mean, you want to sit across from the table with me. I would never sit across from the table with you. But if you wanted to sit across from the table with me and you have a good conversation about something, I would say, of course, I believe it. If I have, I don't even know how many, 50 texts from different listeners saying it, I believe it. If I didn't think it was real, I wouldn't spend time on the air talking about it.
Right.
I think it's real. But do you think, Harrison, that I'm lying to you? If I heard it, I would privately say, hey, Iggy, you got to back away from the mic because this is out of control. But I don't hear it. And here's KG in O-Town, and he's in here for the first time ever, and you don't hear it. So I don't know. So we want to fix it.
Yeah, I kind of heard it there for a
It's a
second.
good faith effort. We just got to figure out what caused it. Some people are saying they listen on, I can't recall if they were listening on the app and they don't hear it, if they listen on Spotify and they do hear it. Brian Henshin, who's a show ombudsman and the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month, March 2023. I think someone's mic level's a little high, perhaps. It was pretty bad at the start of the segment. That is Brian Henshin.
I mean, I don't.
Don Johnson says, I do not hear it. Good news is the echoes are gone. That's from the total package.
That's nice. I don't know how Plowhawk usually sets the mic levels, but I have Iggy just a little bit lower than everybody else. But it's pretty much all the same. It's pretty uniform, as you can see.
Bottom line is this, and I say this, and I mean it. I like to think people know. Of course, I mean it. If there is an issue that is bothering multiple people in the listening audience, bring it to my attention, and I will. You know, I'm not an engineer. I don't know how to do it, but I do know who is in control of it, and I can help get it taken care of. You want a different content on TMA all day? I would imagine within the next week you will probably hear different content on TMA all day. You wanted the YouTube volume increased? We'll tend to it.
Absolutely.
So that's, so anything, please do. I want to hear from you. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. I only hear it when I listen with AirPods. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven.
And that's the same. That's what I was saying earlier. I've heard it with AirPods a little bit, but if I'm just
Interesting.
listening in my car, I've never heard it.
I wonder if it's when you have, do you have the noise-canceling AirPods, the
I
newer
do.
ones?
Yeah.
I got those. Here they are.
Yeah.
Probably going to get a range session at Family Golf today. That's why I got them. And maybe you hear different things then. That's interesting.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're going to be listening with headphones, you're going to hear stuff in much more crisp and close attention. Whereas if you're listening in your car or off your phone, it's not going to be as detailed. So that makes sense to me. I know when I listen with AirPods in, like with music, I hear music way better than like even in my car where it's really loud.
Right.
But
T. McKernan inside us.
Yeah,
that's how we'll tend to it, and then I can forward it to the people who actually can do something about it, and we'll tend to it. Jackson, I'm going to yield to you. What is your lead from the weekend outside of your trip to Tennessee, which we certainly, I think we talked through in the Munkin' 7 o'clock hour.
Lead in St. Louis this weekend, I think, has to be Cardinals losing yet another series.
Yeah.
I think it has to. I know the Battlehawks not getting the playoffs, but the Cardinals usually dominate this area, and when they have been on the start they've been on and continue this trend of losing series, then I think it has to be the Cardinals.
I've been making a kind of under-the-radar observation, and now I feel like it's time to take it seriously. I don't know how many people are aware of this. Maybe I can ask you to write it down to see if you know, because if I ask, everybody will be able to jump in. Well, I'll just start here. Iggy, who's in first place in the National League Central?
Brewers.
Okay. Jackson, who's in first place in the National League Central?
Brewers.
KG No-Tone?
Pittsburgh Pirates.
That is correct. 16-7 and on a 7-game winning streak. And they just extended manager Derek Shelton. I would wonder what percentage of the audience knows who he is. He is the manager of the club with the best record in the National League, the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Cardinals are 6.5 games out of first place. Now, I recognize it's April 24th, but 6.5 games, that counts. And on top of it, the last time the Cardinals won a series was 2 weeks ago, and it was against the team with the worst record in the National League, the Colorado Rockies. At some point, and I don't know why, and maybe I'm just out of touch with how people communicate, I don't feel like it's getting enough attention how pedestrian the team might be. And maybe it's because we do a show on the Blues, station, and so the Blues got a whole lot more attention. But I felt early on in the season, people were going, hey, this team might really be bad. And I realized they had extensive losing streaks. But I'm starting to wonder if it's, Ali Marmol keeps saying it's going to come around. This team's going to, they're 9-13 through 22 games. That's more than an eighth of the way home, and they're 6.5 back. They're 6 back of the Brewers, 6.5 back of the Pirates. So you got a couple things going on. Are the Pirates actually for real? The Pirates have a hell of a run differential, and they've I don't know who the people are. Vinny Velasquez came into St. Louis with a 9.5 ERA. He had another great 7 innings and 10 strikeouts, I think, yesterday. Ooh. I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe it's because they're playing some crappy teams. I know they swept the Rockies and they beat up on the Reds. But either way, the Cardinals, taking the Pirates out of the equation. The Cardinals went in and took on a team that's still under 500 in Seattle and lost that series. They lost the series to the Diamondbacks. They're winning the 3rd game of a series. I would tell you that if you have lost the first 2 games of a series, the one that, or I should say, the percentage of an average team beating a good team in a 3-game series is probably at its highest in the 3rd game. Reason being, as we've seen in the past when the Cardinals had really good teams, is that oftentimes the manager would then take his foot off the gas and use that once they've won the series to give off days to players. That is what I'm saying. Not to say that that was the case yesterday in Seattle. That was their lineup, and they certainly were going for the sweep, but they had, Flexen was on the mound, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, he was. And the Cardinals had Flaherty. I bet the Cardinals up and down. I bet the Cardinals to score in the first inning. I bet the Cardinals straight up when they were losing 3-2. I bet them again and got them at plus like 250. That's just, you just kind of know how it's going to play out after, not that you know, but there's a percentage of confidence with this stuff. But it's a little eye-opening. And I don't feel like it's getting that much attention, but maybe because I'm not really on social media that I rely on like the Post-Dispatch or podcasts for I'm sure social media people bitch, but I'm talking about like writers or people that have followings and aren't just like guys, who complain on social media.
Right, and I'm also not privy.
You've been in a cabin,
right? But even if outside of that, like I don't know much of the discourse around it, but I do know that like you kind of have. I think there's like this feeling, obviously the Tony thing, like it's the first week of the season, like because early in the season, like, and Cardinal fans naturally are optimists, and they have reason to be so. History would say so. That but any 22-game stretch of a season that's been looking like this would be concerning, whether it be the first or the last 22-game stretch. So it certainly is something to be concerned. And the Pirates thing is weird, and you think they're going to come down to earth, but maybe they have the pieces that they need. I don't. It's been strange with the rule changes. Everything seems just kind of upside down. So I wish I could give more, but I don't know what the discourse would look like. But I would assume it's bordering on kind of what you're saying. Like you got to start taking notice of what's going on now.
Yeah, I just think that with regards to overall where the team is for what you have in the lineup, and you're getting what would be through 22 games MVP caliber performance from Nolan Gorman, Arenado, but Nolan Gorman, who did it again yesterday, hit his 6th home run. And he now has 22 RBIs. The team has played 22 games. He has 22 RBI. you should be able to then prorate that to figure out what kind of pace he is on as far as RBIs for the year. Quick hit, how many games do they play in a major league season? It's something else. But overall, it's just something I'm going, okay, maybe they're just not that good. I just don't believe that, though. For example, if I could buy stock in teams right now, I'd buy stock in the Cardinals and I'd buy stock in the Padres.
Right.
But maybe I'm just caught up in the BS. I don't know. Maybe I'm caught up in big bats in the middle of a lineup and then missing out on obvious. I recognize the starting rotation isn't particularly good. Jack Flaherty looked good yesterday. Since I had a bunch of money on the game, I was watching it intently. And while he had one bad inning, kind of a bad inning with some 2-out hits and bloops, he bounced back. To his credit, went 6, struck out 9, and his ERA is now at 3.29. And Gorman is out of control as far as what he is doing, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe Nootbaar will help things.
Yeah. Derek Gould wrote a really good article talking about the little things, like how the Cardinals used to be known for doing the little things. And that's what separated them. But now the little things are what's costing them, whether it's runners in scoring position, not being great on the base paths, some fielding errors that can make problems, just not great hitting in the double plays. Like the little things are mounding up into like a big issue.
They had 2 double plays in the first 2 innings yesterday. That game should have been 5 or 6-0 after the inning and a half.
Right. So they're not taking advantage of times where they can score, and then they're letting runs get away. Like it's the little things that are now all piling up to kind of be the sum of this issue. And while you think that might be something easy to turn, it's a lot of little things on top of a starting rotation that is flimsy at best.
Tim, just reminding what crowd you're speaking to right now, the Dolts are lost. This is a 10-15 kind of idea. That's from the 830 Recreator. Now, I don't know what the 830 Recreator is talking about. What's a 10-15 kind of idea mean?
Balloon party? Is he referencing
10:15 a.m.? Is that what he's saying? I don't know.
830 Recreator, follow up. Tim and Gaped Piggy. The sports lead had to be my wife ramming herself to Ryan O'Reilly with her dilly on Saturday. He gave Kucherov a little ass whooping and seals his Gordy with 60 ticks left in the third, causing a milk explosion in Maple Leaf Square. So hot. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves. I actually was watching that game, too. So it shows you what I'm doing now.
That was like a hieroglyphic.
Well, he's talking about Ryan O'Reilly tying the game with the Lightning with the extra man out there, netminder pulled. And then they wound up winning it in overtime. That's what that meant. And his wife was pleasuring herself to the game.
Right.
For the record.
Poor gal. She's just unfair. Yeah, I didn't understand the words of that. But, yeah, I don't know if that's the lead. It's certainly something to note, similar to that there might be lesbianism at TMA Day at the ballpark.
That's correct. That's exactly
This is also something to note.
I didn't realize I was watching it right after what Jackson and I were discussing Succession in the commercial break. And I immediately went to bed right after it, and I saw the Oilers and Kings game, and I think it was tied when I was watching it, and the Oilers wound up winning that thing in overtime. That's a hell of a series, too. God, I love the Stanley Cup playoffs. I hate the Blues not being in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I love the Stanley Cup playoffs. So that series is tied at 2. Wild and Stars, that's going to be another good one, tied at 2. Bruins look like they're going to be able to fade the Panthers in the first round. They're now up 3-1. And the team Darren Pang had circled as a possible problem for the Bruins. The Islanders are down 3-1 to the Hurricanes. Meanwhile, fresh off of his birthday gala yesterday, Patty Maroon will try to even up that series tonight against his buddy Ryan O'Reilly, who was via 1,500 miles away pleasuring people's wives in the Central Corridor. Leafs could go up 3-1 in that one, but the Lightning could tie it up. That's in Tampa tonight. Devils and Rangers. The road team has won every game in that series that the Rangers lead 2-1. VGK up 2-1. They also came back to win one. And the Avalanche are up 2-1 on the Kraken. I have not watched a second of that one, so I can't speak to that one. Jackson, I know you were probably pleasuring yourself to the Warriors and Kings.
Warriors and Kings has been a great series.
It has been.
It's been an awesome series.
Got a lot going on there.
Yeah, Clippers and Suns should be a better series, but the Clippers are, of course, without Paul George. And then the Grizzlies and Lakers. The Toxic Cup is...
the Toxic Cup, is that what they're calling it?
That's what it might as well be. Been some great entertainment outside of last night. But yeah, the best series so far has been the Warriors and Kings. I
Yeah,
love
and that
watching
thing is deadlocked, which means at the minimum it's going 6.
Yeah, can't wait.
And so if you're looking for something, you're like, wow, there's a void in St. Louis sports. I understand. You might hate basketball, but that's legitimate entertainment that's going on between the Kings and Warriors. That's one that you kind of can't miss. It is
right.
Steph
quality.
dodged a bullet the other day.
With the Chris Webber timeout?
Yeah.
Timeout, yeah.
Yeah, you got lucky.
And then he took a shot with, I think, 12 left on the shot clock there at the end.
Yep. Yeah. It's, and what the best part about that is Sacramento. Like, this team has, the last time Sacramento was in the playoffs, the Cardinals had 9 world championships. The 06 was the last time that they were in the NBA playoffs. So you're getting a rabid fan base against the defending champs.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a perfect set of circumstances with the
incredible.
former assistant coach of the
Mike Brown.
Warriors, Mike Brown. You ought to have that guy on who was on the Ned Reynolds show. He seemed pretty knowledgeable about the Cardinals. Also, Tim, get it in early with the sex on that busman special because they get charged extra if they don't pick up the kids by 6 p.m. from daycare. That's Steve, Chairman Steve in Wildwood. That's a nice observation, that they get a little intoxicated during the day. And, I guess he's suggesting single mother situation, and he's saying that they have to go pick up the children by 6, so you have a window at the cocktail lounges downtown for your Sapphos, single mom Sapphos.
Are these single? Oh, so they're Ubering to pick these kids up? That's got to be eye-opening for the children. Who's this guy bringing mom to school?
Or who's this lady?
Right, and why is he hammered? Why is she hammered? What's going on?
Let's see what we got. Cam Smith sinks a 30-foot putt, and Movie Boy is going to pretend it didn't happen. That's from Mr. Licks.
When did I become a tour apologist? Like, I carry water for the tour. I don't give a rat's ass about Live or PGA. Give me good golf. I don't care who wins on Live. I saw Chase Koepka
That's what I was
hit a
gonna
shot
ask.
with Kodak Black Super Gremlin in the background, like Bizarro World, and I didn't really have much to say. I wasn't locked in on the Zurich this weekend. I don't really care.
Mr. Licks, you're welcome to call out and hold Jackson accountable, as he should be. Cam Smith didn't even win that thing, did he? I thought Taylor Gooch won it.
I couldn't even find it. I mean, when I found it on CW11, it says starts at 12 p.m. Well, they were playing it like 10:45 a.m.
Mr. Lick sends emails to our inbox, the show inbox, all weekend long about the Live Golf thing.
Yeah, Licks was having a field day.
So weird.
But he was going play by play. Yeah, I'm watching it now. I turned on CW11. It said starting at noon, and it was already over.
It didn't even cross my mind, to be real.
I didn't know
honest
that
with
Liv
you.
was playing outside the
Just got an
Chase
email
Koepka
to my Inside STL called Breathegate.
They were in Australia, so
Hey,
it was like
Tim.
15 hours ahead of us.
I noticed the breathing during the top of the hour 2 during some live reads. It was really noticeable. I listened with AirPods, and maybe it's this AirPods thing. Maybe that's the thing.
I really do.
Have we
think there's
identified
something
it?
to that.
I've heard that when people have talked about the breathing, I feel like AirPods have come.
So yesterday, when I was hitting balls, ran into some listeners at Family Golf, as a matter of fact, and BS with them. So these AirPods that are the newer ones have noise canceling.
that you can turn on and off.
Right.
Right.
And so I was noticing, I'm like, I thought I heard somebody talking out of my left one, and they did. Somebody was playing music, but that's what it sounded like, talking. And I'm like, that's interesting that it comes through, and it only comes through the left one. So I wonder if that's it.
Yeah, very well could be. I mean, if you're listening on that, you're going to get every minute detail of audio. So
That's interesting. We might have identified this KGNO
I think so.
But then I don't know what the solution is.
probably.
That probably isn't a reasonable solution to
No.
propose.
Listeners can listen on any vessel or platform they would like. The probably the best is we'll probably have to do something internal with Iggy's mic outside of like what I could do. The engineers will have to come in here and do something to hopefully get rid of that. Because we had to turn up Iggy's mic, of course, in our old studio, and I think they did the same thing here. So hopefully we can get something taken care of.
How about this email? Boy, the people are emailing. This is good. Email. I am your ally. I am your ally. So email in, and I want to get things done right. It's just, I have an odd obsession with that. It's not really Trust me, it's not a pleasant way to live, but it's the way that I'm programmed. So I want to get things right. Hey, Tim, I had a thought that it would be really fun to hear some of the show's clips from the Stanley Cup run in 2019 on TMA All Day. That's a good idea. Yeah. And those interviews that made Gangster Pete weep.
Yeah, those would be great.
That'd probably be a good thing to play.
Yeah.
God, we had so many.
Kelly Chase the day after was pretty phenomenal.
Oh, did we have him like on the morning? God, because he had been up all night.
Yeah.
Oh, that had to be really interesting.
Yeah, I think he talked about how he would pulled over on the side. Of
oh yeah,
40
that was unbelievable. I thought he told me that on the podcast.
Maybe I'm mixing some things up.
I don't know. Either way, yeah. He drove back from Nashville. I mean, it was such a weird thing. It's like a movie.
Yeah.
Like his career could be a movie. And he drove back, and I believe he was in Nashville. And for real, right as the clock ticked down in Boston, he's crossing the Mississippi River, and he pulls over on 40 right by Busch Stadium, and he looks at the arch, and he listens to the broadcast that he used to be a part of. And, I mean, when I thought of the Blues winning the Stanley Cup, so help me God. You know, Pete's emotions were rooted, I think, in his dad, and we gave him trouble about it. But, I mean, that was a real thing, and you can respect it. And I'm sure plenty of other people were emotional because they were thinking of their parents who loved the Blues who weren't there to see it, just like with Cubs fans, you know, on the whole 1908 thing. But Bobby Plager, 100%. If the Blues won the Cup now and they didn't win in 2019 and Bobby Plager wasn't around, it wouldn't mean as much from my standpoint. So I'm so grateful that he was around. Chase was absolutely there. And then the nameless, faceless people that I put as the ones who would be in particular in the upper bowl and who would usually like be texting in hate that we weren't talking about the Blues losing to the Nordiques, you know, in the second game in October.
I'm just getting water.
I was like, I'm so happy for those people because they live and die with it.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
I'm bandwagon.
Yeah.
I'm bandwagon guy, just like a lot of people are, and I'm just so happy for them. You know,
that's-
so yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
I am your ally. Utilize it. Utilize it.
We've played the day after the 2011 World Series show before, back at the old station, and the day after the Blues won before. So we can definitely pull some of that stuff because it's great. I mean,
that's a great call.
There's like 6 guests on the day after the Blues won.
Chairman Steve had a good call after the Cup.
Natty Nate, I think, had another one, if I'm not mistaken.
Or
something. And he had a great one sometime when the Cardinals won, or so. I have no idea. Who knows? Yeah, there's good stuff in there.
Well, actions speak louder than words. You know.
We'll Plowhawk even if he's not here.
If I have 500 emails from listeners with suggestions on making the product better, in particular with you two on the staff or whatever it is that you are right now, you're a hybrid.
I float around.
I'll use you from 220 out. You know, depending on the honk, I can maybe get 240. Sometimes it might be 190. I don't know.
Like 190 for me.
But eventually, I believe full time at some point, KG in O-Town. I know that you guys would do that. But what are the issues? What would you like? And then we go to, like last week with Marshall and the board, it was tended to within 48 hours. But just posting on the fan page or on Twitter or wherever else things get complained about, if you want it actually done, email me. So I'm glad that people are taking me up on that. Steve Wild said I was still drunk when I called in.
I remember that.
That's outstanding.
I love Stephen Wildwood.
Yeah, he's a all-timer without question. Jackson, why don't you tell people about your pants?
Muggsy. That's what those pants are. Boy, I was wearing them in Tennessee. I was wearing my Muggsy shorts. The wind was whipping in. See, so during the day, I wore my Muggsy shorts. Sun was out. Hawk was a little up. Super comfortable. Plenty of pockets to hold all the things I need for golf while also being outstanding-looking pants. These are the shorts. And then it got chilly at night, in the lower 50s. You're hanging out outside. Maybe we were by a fire. And that was the perfect time to slip on my Muggsy joggers. I mean, the best of both worlds. You get both shorts for the daytime and golf course. I could take those, wear them to a business meeting because they look great, but they feel incredible. And then you put on the pants, a little cooler out, still look great, and still feel incredible. You like 5-star reviews? Muggsy.com has over 10,000 5-star reviews. So head over there right now. Get some of their world-famous jeans, maybe some chinos, joggers, shorts, swimwear, jackets, flannels, staples that every guy needs in their closet. Right now, Muggsy.com. When you go there, use the promo code TMA. That gets you 10% off your entire order
with free shipping and free returns. Again, that promo code is TMA at Mugsy.com for 10% off your entire order. Free your balls once and for all and experience life-changing comfort with Mugsy.
Well, if you're injured in an accident, things can spiral out of control quickly. You might have medical bills piling up. You might not be able to work or provide for your family. And you're probably getting the runaround from the insurance company you've been talking to. Do not fight this fight alone. C.D. Longo and Doug Biggs, just saw those guys, last Thursday, I believe it was, they were in here. The Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm will take all the complication and hassle out of your injury claim. They will deal with the insurance company and take the fight head on, allowing you to get back to what's important, which is recovering from your injuries. Injury cases can be complex. Each case and accident is different, and every fact is important when building a case. People often wonder how injured victims get large settlements or verdicts, and the short answer is because they're represented by effective and skilled lawyers who understand how to get every dollar out of their case, and that's what you'll get at Longo Biggs Injury. Skilled trial lawyers who will go to battle for you to fight against the deceitful tactics that you can run into. You're going to get personal attention as either Doug or CD themselves will personally handle your case. You're going to get to know them just as they will get to know you in every last detail of your case. I know these guys. These are good guys. These are TMA listeners. They're St. Louisans, native St. Louisans, and they are really passionate about this. Really good to have them on board, too. As I like these guys, and I know you will as well. It's Longo Biggs Injury Law. They accept personal injury, wrongful death, brain injury, and other catastrophic injury cases. It's longobiggs.com. Remember, the choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. If you're looking for a place to have a pony, as the doggies are back home, taking on Portland this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure of that. You hang out at Maggie O'Brien's and see Eddie McVeigh. That's where we will be for the Dotem pre-party on Wednesday, May 17th. We'll have the Lisanne dating game. Sign up for that. Email me, tmckernan at InsideSTL.com for that. Are we only accepting male-female couples?
I think we should accept all couples.
Yeah, be progressive.
Yeah. I mean, because then we could deal with a discrimination suit.
Right, so Ray King.
We don't want to bring that down. So Ray King and that guy with the beard that makes out with him?
Yeah, and then I guess we'll have to, have a lottery for all the lesbians.
Well, you have to be legitimately gay.
Wait, you
Cut that off.
to prove it to you?
Yeah, I mean,
now you're looking for some
You can't have two male listeners show up and say we're gay and lesbian.
Oh, God. That'll be hot to get into my now I'm regretting the T. McKernan inside.
Yeah, it's in the grill.
I'm not in charge this year.
Lisanne dating game will take place that night. It's Maggie O'Brien's downtown St. Louis, as well as the Sunset Hills location, which is where we will be for the Dotem pre-party. Come on in, friends. The water is warm. That'll be Wednesday, May 17th. We'll have the Dotem on the 18th and 19th. I believe there are still some foursomes for that Thursday. Enjoy it. Those of you who did the refund trick, I respect the trick.
No doubt.
Trick won't be available next year, but I respect the trick this year. And so now we're sitting here with 4 or 5 foursomes, I don't know how many, for Thursday. Friday sold out, and Thursday, the Dotem, and the pre-party Wednesday at Maggie O'Brien's. So come on in and enjoy the festivities. That's only a few weeks away. We're less than a month away from the Dotem.
Can't wait. It's safe to say that the 2 days of the Dotem are probably 2 of my favorite days the entire
It is a great time.
It's awesome because it's kind of like a short week, it's a lot of work, obviously, but after the shows on Thursdays and Friday, we just relax and hang out.
So many ladies on hand.
So many, yeah, it's crazy. Feel like we almost always, knock on wood, have really good weather for the Dotem.
Is that right?
Well, at least for the times I've been on the show.
You skipped last Thursday.
Yeah, well, up until...
We had a tornado on the golf course. We had water spouts and funnel clouds all over. There was a water spout over that wonderful body of water on that dog leg to the left. Is that number 4, KG Town? 4. Very difficult par 5.
Yeah, tough. You can't get
there was a water spout in that thing.
Yeah,
right.
It was last year, Jackson.
Well,
I was hiding in the cart barn so people couldn't
I bet,
Get Gareth Seed out of your ears from this weekend.
No.
It happened last Thursday.
Up until that point,
he was in hiding
terrible.
after an unfortunate forecast.
Yeah,
it was a supercell that came through.
I should have just defaulted to Iggy on that one.
My favorite Dotem memory from last year was you and Plowhawks ride back trying
Oh
to
my
just
God!
navigate through it.
The rain was piercing my skin, KG.
I remember that.
It really was.
The next
God
day was
almighty.
gorgeous, though. Next day was beautiful.
I believe it was.
Next day.
And the best part is that there were people who were adamant about finishing their round in tornadic conditions.
My father wanted to keep going. I said, Pop, get off the course. How are you doing? Heavy stuff's not coming down for a while.
Theoretically, the weather has always been great for the Dotem, with that one being one that stands out to me. Yeah, the forecast for this Sunday, Iggy, it's starting to get better. It changes. I mean, I was looking at it on Saturday when you were out there playing, I guess, KG, and the high was 52 with wind on the little
You
emoji.
talking about for the upcoming Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But then now it's moved up to partly sunny with 60 degrees as a high. Now,
Yeah.
you know it'll be windy at Gateway because that's just the way that it is, but wow.
I would take 60.
I'll take 60.
That's pants and quarters up weather.
It is indeed.
Yeah, and that's shaved strokes.
The pants will shave strokes. The Hawk will add them aggressively, no question about it. All right, Jackson, we haven't gotten to the doggies yet outside of talking about who they may be playing this Saturday, and I'm virtually
Portland.
certain it's the Timbers. It is? Okay. Saturday night, 1-0 lead. We're going to extra time. Looks like they're going to get another win on the road. And unfortunately, Colorado gets a late goal. Doggies get the draw, pick up a point. But I'm sure they feel like they may have left one out there. Now, if you watched the game and didn't see any goals, there are only 2 goals to see, and you were scoring this like a boxing match, as I sometimes try to do when conveying to the 101 audience in particular how I view a baseball game or hockey game, this would have been, in the first half, Colorado 10-8.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Oh, you saw it?
I saw the highlights of the game. I couldn't watch it live in Tennessee, but watched
It
the
was
extended highlights next day.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And Roman Berkey was
Saving the ass.
Holy crap. Yeah. I haven't seen many games like that. I watched a lot of soccer this weekend. I watched it. Well, you had the Ryan Reynolds Wrexham situation.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I guess maybe I'm just getting more into it. Watched Liverpool, watched Arsenal.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I enjoyed it. God, I watched all this stuff. What am I doing?
Soccer's fun.
I know, but I'm talking about I watched all the Cardinals game. I watched NHL game. I watched Ryan O'Reilly's goal. I was watching Warriors and Kings, a little bit of the Lake Show. Boy, I'm telling you.
Good weekend in sports.
I know, but I mean, my social calendar used to just be different.
Yeah.
This is having a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old. This is, I guess, all parents are going, yeah, I remember when you were in Las Vegas for 2 weeks at a time. We knew this day would come.
I was locked in on sports during that time.
That's what was going on. All right, we have a friend of the show, Joey Zanaboni's calls. What do we have here, Jackson?
These are the calls of Roman Berkey's multitude of incredible saves.
All right, here you go.
On Saturday night.
Now it's sprung out of the back for Acosta, sweeps one on. Rubio into the city box. He slams the brakes, gets around Parker. Oh, Roman Berkey, a huge kick save. Oh, baby, Roman Berkey breaking things up like he's trying to inspire a Taylor Swift album. That one hooked toward the spot. It bounces off a head. And Berkey punching like Bruce Lee on a Capri Sunbender. Off a chance to the left side. Oh, Roman Berkey, another huge kick save. Holy Moses. Spearing things like a deranged unicorn mascot at the crossbow range. Across the top of the box, Colorado. Oh, a huge diving save on a low shot. Unbelievable. Roman Berkey casting magic like he's breaking arms in a Harry Potter movie.
A lot of breaking things in there. A lot of breaking. I don't know. The calls are good, the save and the calls, but then when he throws that in there, it just kind of ruins it. He had 2 breaking like Taylor Swift and breaking. There were like 3 breakings in there.
Breaking things up. The thing like Taylor Swift, that save that Berkey made was filthy. That was unbelievable.
Which one? There were multiples.
The kick save.
Then he began to berate his defenders that he had to keep making saves.
It was evident who played in the Bundesliga and who had not played the Bundesliga at that point in the game. But the kick save, I can't remember when it was exactly, but it was on that Taylor Swift call where the ball was going the other direction. He kicks out his back leg and makes that save. It was unbelievable. Like, that was real. That's the difference.
I mean, that's a goaltender saving a game for a team, I would imagine. We have Taylor Twellman on every Tuesday now on Balloon Party, and I'm looking forward to discussing that with him to see what his perspective is on it, because from my novice viewpoint, That was a game they were fortunate they weren't down by God only knows what. I think he was only 2 saves away from the MLS record.
He was, yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was like 2 or 1 or 2.
It was insane. What do you think of the kits? I like the kits.
Fire. I thought they were
I like the kits.
Yeah, they released them early. Like, they showed them on, like, Tuesday, I want to say, because I remember me and Plowhawk talking about it. I was like, those are sweet. Like, those are really, really cool, different color than all the other ones. That's like the weird thing about soccer is like you don't have to have a white jersey, you don't have to have a black jersey, you don't have to have a team. You can make your jerseys whatever color you want. So when you can have that freedom and you do something cool like that with a good initiative behind it, I think it's really cool.
KJ No Time, thoughts on kits?
I didn't see the kits. What did I miss?
The green ones?
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, nice show,
The soccer
Prepper.
gentleman will be turning his attention to you.
It's a late start. I was asleep already.
You were asleep at 8:30?
I go to bed early.
Do you really?
Yeah, and I work on the weekends too, so I was getting up early. But
Hey, I'm just telling you what's coming your way. You already know though, and it doesn't sound like it's really concerning. Iggy, do you see the kits?
No.
Okay, there it is. Jackson and I will have a nice discussion on kits.
I thought that was
enjoyed it.
What was the initiative?
Earth Day.
Yeah, that's what it was about.
Earth Day. It's about using sustainable materials on clothes and stuff like that. So I thought it was cool. Adidas does something like that, and so City being sponsored, MLS being sponsored by Adidas, does that, and I thought that they were really cool. Kind of change of pace. Not pink, but I like the gray uniforms a lot too. Like I think they've really, outside of the City Red thing, have knocked it out of the park when it comes to uniforms.
Yeah, I get the pink and yellow thing is, But I understand since it's St. Louis, we have to support everything. But I got to be honest with you, it's really rough. If that were Sporting Kansas City, St. Louisans would be making fun of it left and right. But since it's ours, we'll go, yeah, it's great. Guys, what is it about being a soccer goalie that allows you to react like a dad who came home early to a high school house party? There's literally no other sport where a player is allowed to berate teammates mid-game. It's the beautiful cuck. That's from Arbor Day.
Yeah, the goalies will start screaming but they're also screaming out directions. Like they're like, hey, you got to get up there. You got to press early. You can't let him get through there. Like, it's not necessarily like just them screaming that how bad they suck.
And I would think you would see that out of a hockey goalie, but obviously they're all covered up. I bet Bennington's pretty vocal out there.
Yeah, I don't know on that. I don't know. The lady who was on the call said, and she was a defender when Brianna Scurry was the U.S. women's national team goaltender, and she said she used to yell at the defenders if she was getting too much as far as shots on goal.
Right.
And that's what... guys, wife noticed how hot Berkey is for the first time the other night. I told her to catch up with the rest of us. Also, I'm pro Earth Day kits. That's from Stepdad Gary. And then the very next text, throw those kits back in the ocean. They were garbage.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're talking uniforms, it's totally subjective. I thought they looked green on a soccer field is tough, though. I will say that. And luckily, it's like a lighter green. But sometimes, like if you play FIFA with your friends and you play against a team with green, it kind of blends into the pitch, and that could be difficult.
Guys, I like how Ken has decided to respond to you all being shorthanded this week by increasing his trips to hydrate and take breaks. Just world-class work ethic. That's from Arbor Day, who is live from Milagro Tequila, Lister of the Month for April. First winner from Missouri. Iggy,
I had to go to the bathroom, too, so, sometimes you can't wait.
Interesting. Jackson's got a tiny little prostate.
Go ahead and give me a bucket in here, then I'll never leave
You
the
a wee in here.
Well, it wasn't wee.
Oh, really? Doug would...
Yeah, I'm pretty regular, so normally I always go before I come to work, but I just, I don't know.
Ass dropping.
You have to.
Huh.
I didn't see any logs floating.
Did you use the one that was like on the other side of our wall?
Mm-hmm. You didn't hear me?
Soiled corn loaf.
Send your emails in
the mud
after.
folder over here.
Inside. That's what it's called, the mud folder?
Well, and clip that off. You can type keywords and some mud.
You won't have any mud in your backyard if you work with Green Envy. Your yard will be wonderful. The grass is already growing and has been now for a few weeks. Both Doug and I are using Green Envy this year, and the difference is unbelievable. I had my grass cut because, God, I would never do it. I think on Thursday, and I was looking outside yesterday, and I'm going, the grass needs to get cut again. But that's what they're doing. And this is cold weather, but this is Green Envy. That's what they do. They're locally owned and operated. Been in business in St. Louis for over a decade. Green Envy only uses products that are formulated for our Missouri soil, weather conditions, and turf types. No national, generic, cheap, ineffective products. It's Green Envy. Their service professionals are commercially licensed applicators certified by the Missouri Department of Agriculture, and this ensures that you have a trained professional on your property, no part-timers or high school kids applying God knows what on the lawns. All employees are screened and background checks performed annually. You can call 636-757-1600. They're open 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday, Saturday 9 to 1 to take your calls and answer questions. The number again, 636-757-1600. Let them know you are a TMA listener, and you will be taken great care of, just like me and Doug have been, and we are in awe of what they have done for our lawns. It is Green Envy. Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies is a wonderful sponsor of this program. 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com. I had a conversation with Mark Hanna, and I can't tell you. This was last Wednesday or Thursday, and I'm just telling you, the man is superhuman as far as his goodness goes, and also his wisdom, even though he's, I don't know, 45, something like that, 45, 46, but the man has wisdom. It's like talking to Yoda. The guy's unbelievable. The perspective he gave me, I mean, we were talking some financial, but also just it was more life. And my God, I'm telling you, I cannot say enough good things about him. And it's one of those things, sometimes you get off the phone with somebody like me, you'll feel worse about yourself. You get off the phone with Mark Hanna, you feel better about the world. That's what he has the power to do. And no matter what your situation is, everybody needs a financial advisor. 314-889-0503. Or go online at evergreenstl.com. That's Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies. All right, we have a TMA. What do we have going on here, Jackson? We have all kinds of things going on. We have the TMA Day at the Ballpark. That's Wednesday, June 14th. Jesse Kiowski texted me that the promo code is on the website, but for those not familiar with it, even though it's sitting right there on the website apparently, that the promo code is 23TMA, 23TMA for the discount. It says it on the website, but just in case you don't see it, that's it, 23TMA. And what that's going to get you, for those of you who have not been listening since the beginning of the show, and I know listeners cycle on and cycle off, $30 field box tickets for TMA Day at the Ballpark, which is June 14th. $30 includes your ticket and $12 in Cardinals cash, which is basically money for your concessions. Two sections to ourselves, sections 128 and 129. We'll be doing a TMA live from Salt and Smoke at Ballpark Village that morning. It's Cardinals and Giants, 12:15 on Wednesday, June 14th. The tickets are normally $46, plus you'd be spending $12 in concessions, so that takes you to $58. You're getting all of that for $30. All you have to do is click on the link at tmastl.com, enter the promo code 23TMA, and you get that ticket for $30. And you can order as many as you'd like. So even if you have people who have no idea what this show is, they can be going to the game and enjoying the festivities on Wednesday, June 14th. We also are giving away tickets to see Air. Am I correct, Jackson? You've seen it. You loved it?
Yeah, I thought it was outstanding. So, yeah, we're giving it's a TMA app contest. So you just go on tmastl.com or TMA app and sign up, and you can win tickets to go see the film Air, which I saw, and it's outstanding. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
So we got that going on. What else do we have going on? I want to make sure I cover everything.
We got the Dotem pre-party.
It's at Maggie O'Brien's Wednesday, Wednesday, May 17th.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and that's what we got. So those three, the TMA Day at the Ballpark, pre-party, and then tickets to go see Air.
Well, we got a showdown for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. JV Golf Coach and Dragon Slayer both have 4 wins. Buck Swope is certainly live with win. Gunter here at the Sharkle House. Brian Henshin and Carlos Spicewein are all with 1 win. We're heading down the stretch here in the month of April. So compete for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. Design Air is online at DesignAirService.com. Work with Seth Goldcamp and his staff. You're still going to be able to get away with not getting that air conditioning checked just yet because we don't have highs above. God, we got 1 in the 7. Oh, this Friday, Iggy's kind of bee's knees, it looks like.
Keeps changing.
70. Is that right? Wide delta?
Yeah, it was low 60s. Now one's almost 70. I saw an app yesterday. Well, actually a website, local channel. You know how they had like the 5 days and their little boxes?
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at yesterday, and for yesterday, Sunday, it said high of 54. And then you read the where it says today's weather, and you click on that, and it says, Warming up. Today should be 66. Oh, your thing says 50-something.
What are you doing? Why are you lying to us?
And it wasn't even close to 60.
Well, no matter what, even if the high does get to
So it
70,
does change.
you're going to get your air conditioning checked now, so that way, because within 2 weeks, I'm very confident I'll be reading highs in the 80s, high 80s probably, which will be great, but if your air conditioning's not working, it's not so fun. Get it taken care of now. It's like insurance for your air conditioning. Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. Seth Goldcamp and his staff will take great care of you, just like they've taken great care of me and Doug for years now. We are clients. We recommend you become a client as well. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. We'll take a commercial break, close out the appliance discounter at 8 o'clock hour. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and we are thrilled to have another new sponsor on board the show. A couple of guys I have gotten to know. Longo Biggs, Injury Law, Doug Biggs, and C.D. Longo here with me. And C.D., one of the things that I want our audience to know is this. When people get injured in an accident, they don't necessarily know what to do, and that's where you guys come into play.
Yeah. Tim, it can be a very confusing process. If you get hurt in a car accident or injured some other way, people do not know what to do. They don't even know how to start a claim. We're going to take the hassle out of your hands and make the entire process very easy. Injury cases are potentially worth a lot of money. We're going to make sure you get every dollar you deserve. We're very excited to be part of the TMA family. We're hoping to have a lot of fun with this. If you or a loved one do get injured, please remember us at Longo Biggs Injury Law. You can visit our website at longobiggs.com, and that is Biggs with 2 Gs.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229 or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan with Doug Vaughn to tell you about a new TMA sponsor, and that sponsor is Green Envy, a locally owned and operated company that can take great care of your lawn this spring. They've been in business, Doug, in St. Louis for over a decade.
Well, they know the conditions that exist here in Missouri. It's hard to have a perfect lawn in Missouri. It gets really cold, it gets really hot, it gets really wet, and really dry. If you don't have people that know what the conditions are like in Missouri, you're going to have trouble. But Green Envy, these people have got it figured out, I tell you.
Yeah, they really do. They treated my lawn earlier this month, and they can do the exact same thing for you. And Green Envy is a company that both Doug and I are using to make sure that our lawns look absolutely spectacular this coming spring and summer. You can work with Green Envy as well. 636-757-1600. That's 636-757-1600. Green Envy.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalitas. TMA listeners know that Rosalitas Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalitas is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalitas has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalitas cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalitas.
Doug Vaughn here alongside Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. Ryan, I know the market is cooling right now. Is it still a good time to buy a house? Rates up? It's a mess out there, isn't it?
Yeah, right? I mean, think about it. Think about where we were a year ago. You know, we saw the headlines, and if you were one of those trying to buy a house a year ago, you know darn well it was tough. You know, a listing would come on the market, and 20, 30, 40 offers would come above asking price, and it was a very difficult environment to navigate through. Now look at today. Homes are coming on the market, price decrease, then an offer comes in and it's well below list, and people are buying these houses a lot less expensive than they would have a year ago. So yes, mortgage rates are a little bit higher, but the savings you get on the sale price should more than make up for that. And then at thehomeloanexpert.com, we will refinance your loan with no fees when rates do go back down. So you get in there now and you marry the house and just date the rate until we can refinance you at no cost. Learn more today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
TMA knows how much our Walrus audience loves their meats. That's why we have teamed up with a local company that delivers high-quality, great-tasting meats straight to your door. Brush Creek Valley Farms is a direct-to-consumer family farm that raises, processes, and delivers beef and pork nationwide at a cost-friendly price. Go to brushcreekvalley.com to choose between building your own box or browsing their various curated box options such as the TMA box, which contains 5 pounds of ground beef, 2 ham steaks, 2 sirloins, 8 bratwurst, and 2 pork chops. And don't forget to apply TMA 10 at checkout for 10% off all orders. That's TMA 10 for 10% off. Brush Creek Valley Farms meats are delivered straight from Cuba, Missouri, and never contain any added hormones or antibiotics to ensure their customers receive the highest quality cuts of beef and pork. So this grilling season, make sure you're choosing the best beef and pork from BrushCreekValley.com. Brush Creek Valley Farms, high-quality meats for a lowbrow audience.
Mother's Day is coming up, and I have the perfect gift for you to give your mom this year. It's Sound Story. Hi, this is Joe Buck. Every year we try to come up with the best gift to show our moms how much we appreciate everything they've sacrificed and all they have done for our families. With Sound Story, you can give a gift that mom will love and the whole family will love as well. Sound Story is an hour-long interview hosted by your choice of Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, or Jackson Burkett at the Hubbard Studios in Creve Coeur, and it couldn't be easier to purchase. Just go to mysoundstory.com, click on gift certificates, and present your mom with a gift on Mother's Day that she will treasure. And right now, all you have to do is enter promo code TMA to save 15% on your Mother's Day Sound Story gift card. Just go to mysoundstory.com and enter promo code TMA for 15% off your Mother's Day gift that she and your family will never forget.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. 'Twas the night before Dotem, and all through the bar, with the sounds of Iggy talking about being cucked on the hood of a car. Yep, it's the return of the legendary Night Before Dotem Party, 7 p.m. May 17th at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills. Brought to you by the EDF Group. Join Tim, Doug, Iggy, Plowsy, Action Jackson, and Lisa Ann. Experience the return of the Lisa Ann dating game and take advantage of drink specials all night. Plus try their house specialty Reuben rolls or take part in the wing eating contest. By the way, it's free to get in. Find out more at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Come back. Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
You got the power!
Speaker now that he's. Is Paul Hawk out tomorrow?
I think it's just
ours is the kind of show where people come and go.
Certainly.
Darren, if you're listening, text that.
Well, you've done a wonderful job on the board.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I like running the board.
KG in O-Town's been James Carlton's in the studio, sitting where Iggy is here in the Michelob Ultra Studios. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can see it, but we know most of your streaming or podcasting. I can't get my headphones right for the life of me in here. KG in O-Town, how have you enjoyed your sitting in the studio? I mean, what a thrill it has to be able to sit next to me and watch me perform.
I feel like it's one of those things that you've told people, don't go experience Florida if you can't make it happen all the time.
Oh.
I've had a little taste.
Now you've had a little taste. Now you're going to be snorting those rails all the time. James Carlton is in here, and you said you brought material for us? What in the hell's that mean? Nobody brings material into the studio.
Yeah, right. A lot of show prep on my drive in. Well, I can't ask Larry David. I know Jackson and you are big Curb fans, so I just want your perspective. Okay, so Saturday morning, we're going to this thing the Blues are having called Paint the Ice.
No, you went to
it's perfect for little kids. They get out there for 30 minutes and get to
the cameras aren't on, Jackson.
Oh, rats.
And so on the way there, we wanted to stop and grab a bite to eat. The first place we stopped at was Southwest Diner, 45-minute wait. That's not going to work. And then I'm like, you know what? I really have had a hankering for Shake Shack lately. And they open at 10:30, the one in Central West End. So we went down there. About 10:28, doors open. We let ourselves in. Nobody's in there. And then immediately somebody's like, who let you guys in? We're not open yet, right? And I'm like, okay, this is a great start. And then when you get up there, have you guys noticed that every transaction these days, I see it at the Blues and Cardinals games where you're buying a beer, it asks you to put gratuity on there?
Oh, sure, it's brutal.
And so, this wasn't the most open welcoming that we received on the way in. And then finally at 10:35, they're going to take our order. And they're asking for gratuity. And she's looking at it. And if I remember that movie Waiting, they're like, don't mess with people that handle your food. So I'm like, okay, well, let me give her 10%. That's the lowest offer on there. So I just feel like, from a curb perspective, everything's asking for gratuity. If I check out a beer at the Blues game with those self-checkouts, literally, I'm handling the transaction myself. It asks for gratuity, and somebody's there watching over your shoulder, so you feel this pressure. So that's just why I wanted your perspective on are we getting out of hand on the gratuity thing?
100%. I understand businesses doing it because... So, for example, was out with a new client, Chris, who was in here. Heavy Smoke's going to start advertising on the program. Chris Schaefer, who was in on, Jackson, I know you weren't here one of the days, Thursday or Friday, he was in studio. And I got food as we were sitting there having our meeting, and the thing came up, and I said, tipping. And I said, is this going to the credit card company, or is this actually going to the person who took my order? He goes, oh, no, we take the tip pool real seriously here. And with the tip pool, our employees make this and this. And he went into the whole thing and how well he takes care of the employees, which is why they have such great job retainment there. But anyway, digressing, yes, I feel like it is something that businesses go, oh, we can just add to our top line here with nothing. We're not providing anything different outside of just essentially the psychological pressure that the customer feels.
Okay, so you feel that too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. What about you, KJ?
But I'm a sociopath and don't care.
Well, I'm worried about them handling my food. That's the thing. I want to make sure I don't set the
you're in the
bad
restaurant
tone.
industry.
I was going to say, I have a little bit of a bias there, but I definitely see where you're coming from. I've been through that self-checkout at the Blues game, and you wonder are you tipping yourself there? Am I getting this back? But I'm in the industry, so I work in a place where the staff relies on that kind of thing. So
that's good. That's good to provide that option. When they go above and beyond, do a great job. But now I feel like the people that are doing a great job, are getting about the same as the people that are doing a below average.
I love, for real, as weird as it might sound, if I have a great experience at a restaurant, which for me is just lay low. But do the job, just lay low. I don't need more than, and I love giving what I would consider to be anyway a really substantial tip. I love that. Love doing that. But in this current climate, I feel like most people are going, okay, I guess I just got to throw 10% on there. And then what I'm more curious about actually is does it go to the people?
That's a good point, yeah.
That's what I'm curious about. Or is it going to the corporation? And it's just a nice little line item when we look at our P&L.
There you go. There you go. And then the other day, I was down in Clayton to renew license plates, and I get approached by somebody asking for money. And usually my go-to is, I don't have any cash, right? But this time I actually did have cash. I'm an honest guy. And for once, I had a $100 bill. I said, all I have is $100. And the guy goes, oh, I can break that.
Nice.
They gave you change?
I'm like, wow, this guy's hitting me up for money and he can break 100. He's doing okay. I just felt like that would be a great curb, where Larry just kind of gets into it with him. That'd be a great curb dynamic there with the guy asking for money that could break your 100.
Scene.
Yeah, that is.
It needs to be submitted.
He's got a square reader and can take.
I take credit, Venmo, whatever you need.
Yeah, you just staple your Venmo QR code to your shirt there up front.
You live downtown. What years were you there, Tim?
2009 through 2012, sir.
So I was 8 to 11, and that was my biggest irritation. Is I couldn't sit outside and have dinner on Wash Ave. I couldn't walk to some place without every 5 seconds getting hit up.
Yeah, that
was something
problem. The cruising on Washington Avenue.
That was I didn't see a whole lot of that.
Okay.
Yeah, was that when you were there too?
That was at the tail end of that. That was like a brand new thing.
Okay.
That
and I've
really
heard
became a problem. It was an oasis for a couple of years. It was the greatest, which sounds foreign. Probably sounds foreign to you as a 25-year-old.
I don't know if I have any friends who live downtown.
Well, I'm sure you don't.
Right.
But the idea of you guys going to Washington Avenue for booze, it's not even. And 12 years ago, it was the greatest. I mean, you know a lot of my friends, and they either owned places there or, or lived down there. And it was truly, I mean, it's as close as you can get to New York City and St. Louis, where I'd get destroyed, but then I just walk in my building. I lived in Grace Lofts and took the elevator up and just, passed out or sat there and had more people over.
That's the dream. That's the best part.
It was the greatest part.
Yeah.
Grace Lofts is the building Flannery's is in.
Yeah.
And did have a shooting one time.
Was it the club there at Tucker? And
it wasn't the club.
No.
It was at the Reverend Larry Rice's facility.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
And we had just gotten back from vacation and we're lying in bed and heard what we thought were gunshots, and then went out and we had it wasn't like a real balcony, but it was like a window with like a 2-foot rim that you could look out, and looked over to the, I guess that would be the southwest, and there was somebody lying on the ground and people screaming. So you did have that experience.
Yeah.
But never felt, as weird as that sounds and counterintuitive, but never felt like, oh my God, we're at risk.
Right.
Ever. Never crossed my mind. Truly never didn't cross my wife's mind.
I think the reason is because there are people. It was crowded. Right. Like when I go to New York, I don't feel unsafe. There's people everywhere. You go downtown now, if it's not a Cardinals or a Blues game, there's not a lot of people, and I think that's why people feel unsafe. Would you feel that way?
I have not been down. I don't really think about it because I worked down there at KMOV, and I would walk back and forth from Busch Stadium at night, never thinking anything of it. Lived down there for 3 years, never thinking anything of it. But now I'm just not down there, if at all. I find it to be like the parking situation, just to be so comedically inept, and the stoplight situation where you're sitting there. Yeah. That's the time where, because you just have time to sit there, you go, I'm just sitting here. I'm a sitting duck.
Sitting duck, yeah.
There's no traffic.
Yeah.
They don't time them out, and you're just that. Like, so when we went to that Blues game a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, I don't mind going, it's whatever it was, Thursday, and we get up super early, but it's fine. It's one time a year, fine. But it's like the parking thing.
It's brutal.
It's just unbelievable.
Did you drive, Jackson? Your Uber would be so inexpensive from there.
Right. Well, I've Ubered to and fro Enterprise Center a couple different times, and the pickup can be
a little tricky,
quite difficult, because they don't know where you are, you don't know where they are. Certain parts of the road are blocked off. Sometimes they pick you up by the Peabody. Other times they pick you up, down the street there, Clark, I guess. So it's difficult sometimes. And for that game, like, we're getting up early the next morning. I wasn't getting after it.
I gotcha.
So it's just easier for me to drive in that situation. But I have Ubered from the Enterprise Center before. I think Post Malone was the worst experience I had with it, because it was impossible to get out of there.
The great Tom Schmidt. You know Tom Schmidt.
I do. Hello.
Truly one of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah.
Of Salt and Smoke, was listening, and he said really strict laws against the company keeping any of those tips.
That's good to hear. Yeah, that's good to hear. I didn't even consider that. I mean, that you brought that up because there's a credit card fee.
That's what goes through my mind. I'm like, I'm happy to do it. I just, it's one of those things. Happy to do it. But now that I know that it's going to the people who are working, hey man, these are people. A lot of people are starting out. I bust tables for years. I worked the dishwasher at Pietro's. I had a waiter, putting me on a chair to dance for him. I did it all. Tyler, boss, where's boss? I dropped the sour cream.
No, I want to reward the good work. I really do. But when I walked in,
so now that I know, now I'll be given more.
I got scolded for walking in because they had an unlocked door at 10:28.
That's like when I pulled up to the White Castle, craving White Castle after a teammate live or something. And the guy sighs as he goes, "Welcome to White Castle." And I place my order. Fine, pull around. I'm like, oh, this is a bad situation. This is a bad situation. I'm gonna have to pass on that. Guys, I've definitely had a homeless guy say I could Venmo him. Thanks. That's from the 314. Yep. Gabe, you got a drinking bracelet at Post Malone. That's from the recovering alcoholic. I don't know what that means. I know you are Gabe, though.
I guess. A gentleman who listened to the show gave me some sort of bracelet that was apparently a drinking bracelet.
Drinking bracelet.
Yeah.
James, we had audio from Eli Drinkwitz. I know you're a big Missouri fan.
Sure.
While I got you, before we let you go, speaking at, I believe it was Greenbrier Country Club this past week, talking about the quarterback situation. I don't know if you heard us play that audio, and it sounds like Brady Cook is his guy, but he's got to have to earn it.
Okay.
Does that surprise you? What are your thoughts?
I'm less surprised by that than I was by Gabe earlier this year saying that he thought Brady was on the outside looking in. Like, I figured, it's his to lose. He was the starter last year. There was some improvement, particularly when Drink stopped calling plays. And and my goodness, did he show toughness? Like, you can't fault the guy for that, right?
Right.
Does he have, or do you work with his family?
I do.
Okay. I was looking at you. I'm like, I think KG
What are we
might know
talking
this
about
family.
right now? With Drinkwitz's family?
No.
No.
I have some connections to the Cooks.
As in Brady?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just looking over at KG and it just dawned on me. I'm like, oh, he probably
No,
knows.
I
him.
know
I have a
nothing
lot
about
of
this.
respect for him. He played with a broken shoulder since the K-State game. So I think he gets the benefit of the doubt. Would I be the most excited if I heard that Sam Horn was the starter? Probably, just because he was that high-level prospect coming in, and we haven't seen him yet. Garcia we saw a little bit, or people saw a little bit down in Miami last year, and it wasn't a whole lot to get excited about, but he was highly touted out of high school. So this is it. He has to get the quarterback position right, and the O-line seems to be a glaring hole as well. We can use some good news on the recruiting trail there with the Houston transfer. My goodness, the Mizzou has not fared well on some recruiting battles.
I'm going to put you to the test, and I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
Maybe you don't want to do this, though. Maybe I shouldn't do this to you, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
You got to put $1,000 down right now, and Jackson, of course, has change for you. You got to put $1,000 right now. Is Eli Drinkwitz the head coach at Missouri this time next year?
No. I'm saying, yeah. No,
Wow. No hesitation.
Because I think 6-6 he's gone. Certainly anything worse than that he's gone. And I think 7-5, that's that gray area. And I think that's kind of the ceiling for this year. There's some games in there that you can see them beating Florida. Tennessee's probably not going to happen. Georgia's definitely not going to happen. LSU, very unlikely. But it's at home, and you could be 4 or 5-0.
You would be either 4-1 or 5-0. You better be either 4-1 or 5-0.
Yeah. So that K-State game early on, that's a big test, because obviously they came off the college football playoff or winning the Big 12, and they handled Mizzou relatively easily last year. And so I think if they can get that W, you got Memphis then here in St. Louis, which is pretty much a home game, and then LSU. LSU and Columbia.
They're 5-0.
Would be probably an 11 o'clock start, right? But LSU and Columbia would be phenomenal.
Oh my God! LSU at either 2:30 or at night in Columbia on October 7th.
I'll take that all day long.
Sweet mother
all
of
day long.
mercy.
We'll have TMA day at the Faroe Field.
Oh my God! I am telling you. But I've been told that might be the day of the St. Gabriel School picnic. So I wonder if the SEC would move that.
Yeah, they probably would. Maybe a Thursday night game because of that.
If the SEC would maybe move it to avoid that conflict. James, enjoy it. And wow. I thought you might buckle at that.
And I'm rooting for him. Like, I want him to do well. Let's go 9-3 or something. Let's do it.
There's a weird thing with a faction of fans. This is college sports as a whole, or even pro sports for that matter. If you criticize, then that means you're not a fan.
Well, when you and I were talking about 2 years ago, I was really high on him. You're like, well, what has he done? And I go, well, look what he's done on the recruiting trail. And now, if you look at that 21 class, Wingo's gone, Lovett's gone. A lot of their big guys they got are gone.
Yeah.
And so, Pinkel would find these diamonds in the rough and develop them. And Drinkwitz has gotten these diamonds on the surface, and they've either gone or they haven't seen the field. So it's a big year. Obviously, I
feel like if they go 7-5, he'd be back. But that's interesting.
I'd say that. Would you be excited though at 7-5? It depends how it goes. Like the Georgia game's context, right?
That's the thing. There's so much context to it. They really could. This is the first year I feel like in a long time, and I don't know how long. I could go back and look at schedules, and then I could point to it, where you go, okay, they could actually have momentum coming out of September, as opposed to the season being quote unquote over, depending on if you're a guy who likes to go to the Liberty Bowl, or most fans who don't care. Where you go, okay, they're 4-1 or they're 5-0, and LSU is coming to town, and there's enthusiasm.
You would think so. Yeah.
That's the first time because of the way the schedule breaks. And if you can somehow carry that momentum, of course, the trade-off when you're in the SEC is that you now have you got to pay for that on the back end, theoretically, because then you'll still have Georgia and Tennessee and LSU on the back end of 3 of the final 7 games, and that will certainly put you to the test. And then whoever else might pop up, because one of those teams that you might not be thinking about could wind up being great, just like when we saw the schedule and you go, God, Auburn, Georgia, K-State in September of 2022, who would have thought Auburn would be as bad as they were? So just looking at the schedule, you would think they would be at worst 4-1. It works
Yeah, that
for
early
one.
part, sure. But like South Carolina, I know they've done well with South Carolina, but they're an up-and-coming team.
Absolutely.
We talk about recruiting wins. I mean, Beamer's been killing it. So
Yeah, I'm looking. Either way, I love college football.
I can't wait.
Get enough of it.
I can't wait.
James, appreciate it as always. That's
Thank
the great
you guys,
James
and thanks.
Carlton.
I just want to take a moment and thank you all the listeners. I mean, we get such a response from the TMA audience.
God
I mean,
bless
it's
America.
incredible. We're so grateful for it, and I just want
Support the
everybody to
sponsors.
know.
That's why we exist,
Not a
even
hard
though we're in a
sale.
closet.
Just check us out online, CarltonInsurance.net. Give us a quick call. Not a hard sale. If we can help
I'm
you
a
out,
client. I
great.
can speak to it.
Well, thank you,
I
guys.
love the way you guys do it. Just texting and saying, hey.
Try
here's
to
what,
make
you
it
know,
easy.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
the name of the
That's
game.
right.
James Carlton,
All
Carlton
right.
State Farm Insurance. Thank you, James.
Good to see you,
There he
James.
is, 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. If you're getting a home, get it through Ryan Kelly. He is online at thehomeloanexpert.com. Jackson, are you starting to be home guy?
Not yet.
What do you need to get taken care of? Because I know that portfolio is strong.
Just a couple more years of
that what it is?
earning, and
You want a lady in your life. That's what you want.
Yeah, I don't think I think until live in the most efficient place you can until you meet somebody you want to take the next step in life. But for right now, I'm happy where I am. But you always keep an eye on it without necessarily being totally invested. But you got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Understand the trends and when would be the best time. And I know who to call. That's Ryan Kelly.
Yeah, thehomeloanexpert.com. Pre-approval, I've done it with them. And refinance, I've done it with them. And right now, weird spot where you have the rates up with credit card rates being higher than they've been in 30-plus years. That's incredible. But home equity is certainly there, especially if you bought your home years ago. You have equity. That is for sure. Take advantage of it. And if you have credit card debt, go to thehomeloanexpert.com, get a cash-out refi, work with the great Ryan Kelly, 10-year sponsor, title sponsor of this program, Ryan Kelly. Looking for some fun at Big St. Charles Motorsports? Well, they've got it going again, and it's coming up. Dominate Adventure with the Terex family of rugged side-by-sides. The 2-passenger Terex and 4-passenger Terex 4 recreational side-by-sides deliver the perfect balance of performance and comfort on the trails. The 2-passenger Terex KRX 1000 and 4-passenger Terex KRX 4 1000 sports side-by-sides are built with next-level capability and power to deliver the adventure of a lifetime. Get your Terex at Big St. Charles Motorsports, located on I-70 at Cave Springs. That is Big St. Charles Motorsports. Sign up to be the TMA Listener of the Month, Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. We have 1 week left for this month's Listener of the Month. Sign up at tmastl.com. That's where you can also get the TMA Day at the Ballpark tickets just by going to tmastl.com. Larry Thornton, who I consider to be knowledgeable, but also not one of the, I don't know how to describe it. Jackson, how would you describe it?
This is a situation where I was doing something and I completely spaced out for a second.
I love the honesty.
I had
I love the honesty because right when I asked you, I could tell that's what it was, but I didn't want to step on you and then accuse you of something if I didn't know that was the case. But if I had to give a read, I would have been able to call it the hand.
That was something I was filtering an
KG in
email.
O-Town on Balloon Party occasionally, maybe once a week or so, I'll ask Jackson a question, and within about a second and a half, I go, oh, he wasn't paying attention.
You can tell it just
You
went
can
out
tell.
into the ether.
He did.
Like a
And
cat.
that's fine.
Blank glaze.
I
I was
understand.
filtering
That's
an
fine.
email.
You know
It's
what?
just not great.
I'll take the 59 minutes and 58 seconds I get per hour out of Jackson any day of the week, and the trade-off is the 2 seconds where he
You could have been
thinks
saying
about Gareth dropping his balls into his gaping mouth in Sparta, Tennessee.
Wow, what a picture. Yeah, so real quick, I repeat, and I'll give you just a thorough answer as I can.
Okay. Oh, 7-5. I said Larry Thornton is a Missouri fan, but not a Missouri fan where you go.
Right.
Like
Not
the
the
guys that
lunatic
Joe
fringe.
Strauss was basically talking about.
Sure.
May he rest in peace.
May
So,
Oklahoma
so Larry Thornton would say 7-5. I still think he's gone. It's from Larry Thornton. Wow.
So much of it is based
DFR
on...
didn't pick him. She is a move maker and has money to spend. If she thinks she has a better option, she'll take it. That's Larry Thornton. That makes sense. Do you think 7-5?
It just depends on the nature of how we get to 7-5. If it's 7-5, where you had some wins that barely over some bad teams, and you got crushed.
You're right.
Crushed by the superpowers. If kind of similar to Mizzou basketball, where they never had like a loss that was like, wow, that was brutal outside of the Kansas game. Like, if they can have a season like that where it's like
Missouri's worst loss was without question outside of the Kansas game. Although I think a lot of that was just Kansas was just on, and that's going to happen. Right. Was their last game of the year.
Princeton, right, exactly.
And they were kind of never in the game either. It was so obvious. Yeah, it's unfortunate. If that game happens in November, that's just one of those games. But that's when you've got a chance to go to the Sweet 16 and you have that happen. So that's the way that it played out. Send your emails in, Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Jackson and I are going to go to our asses handed to us. What are they going to be unhappy about down there? They don't really care about soccer as much as they do about the Cardinals. Nothing to complain about with the Blues. O'Reilly scored a huge goal, so maybe I don't think they're unhappy about it.
Does that audience care about his Tennessee trip? Is that going to be a focus?
They'll be upset.
Yeah, it's a different kind of text, though.
Yeah, it will be. Oh, yeah.
Because I heard you talking to Rock last week about.
Oh, yeah, they were
Jackson's
sending in
trips.
texts. But it's just, I don't know how to describe. Again, my best analogy is if you read comments under articles or like under YouTube links. That's what the text inbox is on 101.
Yeah, and today will be.
You just go,
especially.
wow.
What percent is negative? 99?
Oh, no, not 99. 95.
95?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that range.
But it's not limited to our show. I like to highlight it because it's kind of like a side project for me, honestly, that I, just to be real blunt, don't need. I don't know how that plays, but just to be real honest with you, it's not where I'm, so I just go in there, and it kind of makes me dangerous, I suppose, because I don't care.
Right.
So I just tell them, and if they don't like it, it's like, all right, it doesn't really matter. Get rid of the show. It's fine with me. I got a business that I'm bringing on venture capital for. I don't really, so. But I like it because I'm totally 100% freed up and can say whatever. And I think some people now appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because they know when I'm saying it, I'm not like tickling the balls of St. Louis sports fans. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Right.
That is. And then Jackson, to his credit, at 25, really doesn't care either. Not that he doesn't care, but that he's somewhat over the attacks, so much so that day in, day out, he has an NBA score update at 10:30.
Well, without fail.
What are you going with today?
Oh, man.
You going Warriors Kings?
No,
You going with the
1-point
obvious?
game, yeah.
You're going to sneak in T-Wolves Nuggets.
I could talk about Saturday, like the Sixers sweeping the Nets, the hapless Nets, Mikal Bridges and the Nets. And I think that would get people. I usually try to pick the most obscure names to mention on a point total. Like just try to confuse everybody. My opus, of course, I've mentioned before, is when I gave out the referees.
Second use of opus today.
For Game 6 of the Mavericks and Suns last year, I gave out the refs. Who would be refing them?
Opus.
Where do you even find that?
They put that out.
That's good for gambling information.
Scott
to be honest
Foster,
with you.
Chris Paul has 1 in 13 in games where Scott Foster is the ref in the playoff game. So it's valuable information to have.
So yeah, it's just I don't know. I wish you guys could. You can go in there and just look at the text. And you'd be like,
Iggy's been in there.
Yeah, but he didn't have the text thing in front of him. It's just you'd be like, what? And I'll tell you what it does. Here's what it's done. And this isn't a shot at Bob Fesco at all. I'm being serious. It is. I just don't. It's just not how I operate. I like to think people know that, but whatever. If you don't, fine, piss off. Working with Bob, and it's not a shot at him, because he does a totally different thing. And I'm probably working with me was a nightmare for him. But within a week, I go, oh, my God, I got to work with Martin Kilcoyne and Jim Hayes. Holy crap. I didn't realize how good I had it.
Mm-hmm.
For real. I'm dead serious. I thought that would not be because that was the kind of style that I like to do. And I'm sure for Bob, doing the show that I like to do was like, oh, my God, this is terrible. I got to work with Jason Whitlock. That's what he was probably thinking.
Right.
The texts on TMA and the emails. Well, like Liv was in here. Jackson Liv did a wonderful job, by the way. She really did. She was good, but I mean, like better than because I barely knew her.
Uh-huh.
It made me, and she was like, God, your audience is so hilarious. And I go, yeah. So that situation down the hall makes me have a greater appreciation for our audience. I already had a great appreciation for the audience, but an even greater, but the creativity
that's the key.
of the audience.
That's the key.
Not necessarily, because we don't deal with like the obsessives down there. We're just guys on the show talking sports to them. So you don't have the obsessive one, like Iggy and I were having a wonderful text exchange on Saturday night about one of the situations we've got live on the fan page. But we're just people there, which is fine. That's nice. But the quality of the humor.
That's certainly.
Jackson will occasionally point one out during a commercial break when I'm scrolling through Ella Reese's Instagram and go, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, chairman of the board. Do you mean B-O-R-E-D?
Yeah. Yep. That's what it was.
Top-notch stuff.
That was exactly,
I just go, oh, God.
Yeah.
It's like if I read that on this show, like there'd be 100 people jumping in and telling the guy to jump into the Mississippi River immediately, or, you know.
Yep.
And that's
basically
what I'm talking
tomatoes
about.
being thrown at you after that. What a zinger that was.
Tim, do you think it's poetic justice that Rick from Gapelinsburg has now been shoved into a closet on a daily basis? Seems like maybe a lifestyle parallel to me. That's from Little Tommy Tribbins, Jackson.
First of all, the Horton Watkins studio, I've been in since day one here.
And you love it. And I believe Marshall was saying we're going to have a camera in there soon, right?
Yeah.
How upset are you about that?
I'm not upset.
I love it.
It's just like always been like my little private, area where I get to work, and no one, it's not big enough where people feel like they can come and chum around in there. And
chum around.
It's just kind of nice where I can get work
The best
done.
was last week. I was in there, and I don't even know what the hell I was doing in there.
Right, yeah.
Probably a sound story spot or editing or something like that. And Jamie, it's like 2:30, and Jamie Rivers comes walking by, and he looks and he sees you in there, but he notices I'm in there, and you know how small that studio is.
Really small.
He goes, what the F is going on in here?
And then he came in. I was like, hey, Rivers, beat it. This place isn't big enough. We're going to be out of oxygen here in a second.
Well, there's times when I pop in on you in the morning, and we fit okay, but I'm
tight.
I'm a thicker guy.
Sure,
and I got to
sure.
kind of give you a little space as you back up.
Yeah, not because I've gotten a little longer, and so, yeah. It's,
You're getting longer? Is that what you said? You have a growth spurt going on?
I would kill for an extra 2 more inches.
Oh, my God.
That would be great. I'd have to get new clothes, but that would be fine with me.
That would be the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I would give up an inch of my height to fill in all the spots in my hair. I'd even go 2 inches.
I think I think that's a bad move. As a short, bald man, I feel like I can analyze honestly the situation. And the height in 2023, now maybe if this were 1985, the height in 2023 has greater value than the hair.
All right,
I'm telling you that.
Fair enough.
I'm just telling you that.
All right.
As far as ladies go.
Sure.
And then also guys have a weird thing, too. And I think we need to do a deep dive on this at some point. Like, there's a certain thing, and I don't know what this is about, that guys will be like, I experienced this when I was a two-term rush chairman. If a guy was taller, other guys who were kind of into that stuff were like, oh, yeah, he's a stud. I'd be like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm trying to, bring on guys who I think are, ambitious and going to be successful and quality people, and you want me to sign guys to the frat who are, good looking. What are we doing? We have two different mission statements here.
Right.
You want hot guys around? I mean, hey, God bless. To each their own. I don't know what that's about. I'm telling you, that's why there's not been a short man who has been a president in the United States. I suppose DeSantis could be but his height is top secret. He's got the Tom Cruise thing going on, but I think he's my height.
Really?
There hasn't been a short man. I don't know who the shortest president's been since the 20th century. I know John Adams was super small, but for real, there hasn't been. Bill Clinton was super tall. I met Obama. He was probably 6'1" ballpark. George W. Bush, I think, was fairly tall. I wonder if Jimmy Carter was small. Maybe that's what caused the problem.
Of the 20th century.
Yeah, what do we have? Trump's tall.
Truman was 5'9".
There you go, right in that mid part of the century. I'm post-television era. Let me go that way.
Okay.
Jimmy Carter, 5'10".
There you go.
Jimmy Carter.
One-termer, considered one of the worst of all time.
Yeah, but W is 5'11" and a half, Nixon 5'11" and a half. They're kind of all Biden 6 feet, Reagan 6'1".
Keep an eye on this stuff, Jackson. That's all I'm telling you.
That's interesting.
That's all I'm telling you.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, has anybody tended to the filtered?
Yeah, they're all filtered.
Oh, you filtered them while over there talking and running the board.
That's why I wasn't paying attention when you asked about the 7-5 question.
Makes all the sense in the world. Before we go to the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, Iggy can attest that when it comes to fashion, finding clothes that can fit properly can make or break the outfit. But when you want to not only look good in all types of weather conditions and swing a golf club comfortably, fit is even more essential. Holderness and Bourne has absolutely nailed the fit because their approach is tailored but not tight, even for those who wear a bigger size. The fit loosens as you get towards large, extra large, and on up while maintaining the sharp look you can pick out
from across the driving range. It's Holderness and Bourne, and here's what you got. Go to hbgolf.com and enter the promo code TMA15 and then check out their new spring styles and colors. You get 15% off by entering promo code TMA15 for 15% off your next order at hbgolf.com. And while you're looking good, get that short game working. It's so important. With Clubhouse Turf, you can get it done. Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. How many times have you hit a great drive only to miss the green, skull a chip, and three-putt your way to a double bogey? While tour players get up and down two-thirds of the time, scratch golfers still only get up and down around half the time. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game, and that's why tour players like Masters champion John Rahm and Max Homa have installed celebrity greens in their backyard. Get it done and experience the magic of being able to walk outside and just get the work in. How glorious is that? It's fully customizable layouts, and it's clubhouseturf.com is where you can find it. 314-834-2339, or go online at clubhouseturf.com and let them know you are a TMA listener. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. It's nice to see Jackson back in the fold, but with KG sitting in Doug's chair, you guys are now on your fourth fill-in, this is big, your fourth fill-in host in the past few weeks. Who's next? Is Jody down at the front desk going to be guest hosting tomorrow? So tomorrow, Plowhawk will be there, Iggy will be where he is, I'm where I am, Jackson's there, KG in O-Town goes Horton Watkinsing.
Yep.
Seckman Studio.
Seckman Studios is known
for the day. Licensed.
Let's see what we got. Liv was great, but she only survived one show with you guys before fabricating some far-fetched excuse about distant relatives visiting from out of town. To be honest, though, she lasted 2 hours and 55 minutes longer than I thought she would. Not only are you finding it difficult to retain fill-in hosts for more than a few days at a time, you're also having trouble finding actual guests who want to show up for interviews. However, it would be unrealistic to replicate the miraculous run of powerhouse guest interviews you guys had a few years ago. Let's run down a list of some of the biggest names in the history of HD2 that have appeared on TMA. Some of my favorites include a hungover teenager named SGO Angel Julia, a.k.a. Juju Baby, who was apparently still too drunk from the night before to figure out how to ignore your repeated harassment attempts by simply turning off her phone. Several aggressive cashiers from a fledgling lingerie and vape shop who tried to bully Tim into having a threesome at a TMA Live. A random woman from North Carolina named Sheila who reluctantly called in after stumbling across your show on YouTube.
I forgot about that.
An entertainment coordinator from Hedonism that Iggy knew 25 years ago. And the always relevant Tara Savello, who was fired for being unable to use enough makeup to conceal Lady Gaga's dong. Just to name a few.
I forgot about that lady from North Carolina.
She was great.
She just commented on YouTube, and she was a guest.
It's not hard. Compared to those legends, Jeremy Piven's a nobody. St. Louis doesn't need him to come here anyway because we have a minor league football team that almost made the playoffs, and we might host the NIT Final Four someday. Ooh. Now, back to Jackson. There was something noticeably different about him today. Either the fluorescent lights inside that tiny prisoner interrogation room you call a studio are hitting Lil Piddles differently today, or he still has that unmistakable after-sex glow radiating from his translucent skin. I think our boy might have finally broken his 48-hour-old down in Sparta. I speak for everyone in the listening audience by saying, welcome back, Jackson. We're so proud of you for exploring Garrett's dirt road. But please explain what you meant on KG's Ask the Hubbards interview when you uttered the phrase, quote, anytime you can send your dad a picture of your unit is pretty outstanding. I will patiently await your response. It's from the JV golf coach.
Roman Roy sent Logan Roy a picture that was not intended for him, but it ended up on his phone, and Brian Cox commits some of the best facial acting of all time in that scene.
While Doug is gallivanting around the Mediterranean and showcasing his fabulous journey like he's Anthony Bourdain, our executive producer zagged and took 12 of his friends on a journey to find the worst vacation spot in the United States. If I'm booking a guy's weekend in Tennessee for a dozen dudes in their early 20s, the bachelorette party destination of Nashville would be the insta-call. I suppose if Nashville was a no-go, we could shoot on over to Knoxville and cruise for University of Tennessee Strange with Rondo at Whiskey Dick's.
Gatlinburg would be an odd choice for 12 dudes in their early 20s to hang out together, but the Smoky Mountains are a beautiful part of the country. The list would not include some random city with a population smaller than Shrewsbury that's a 90-minute drive from anything remotely fun. With so many outstanding options for golf in Missouri, it makes sense to drive 6 hours across multiple state lines to play the worst golf course in the country. I imagine Herb took one look at that joint and hit the eject button with an emergency trip to visit relatives in Nashville. Hinge and Bumble aren't going to be much good to you. If you want to find some strange down Sparta way, you'll need to use the Deliverance app. While it's impressive that someone in the group got the contact information of the high school girl at Sonic, I'm thinking Parker Posey and Waiting for Guffman. Nice reference. It sounds like the highlight of the trip was watching NBA playoffs, playing 20 questions, and nightly trips to the outhouse to beat off. Next time, just save the gas money and book your trip at Iggy's apartment complex. That's from Buck Swope. And finally, St. Louis, summer, a balmy 103 degrees at noon on a Wednesday. Close your eyes and tell me what you imagine. The smell of a freshly shorn lawn. Maybe the sounds of laughter as the neighborhood kids play in the sprinkler. The taste of mom's freshly squeezed lemonade. Now, open your eyes, turn the TV on KPLR 11. If you're lucky, the game won't be blacked out in our booming market of commerce and minor league sporting events being played in a boat show convention center dome. And it's there you'll get the chance to feast your eyes upon TMA mid-work weekday at the ballpark, where a couple hundred load-bearing elastic sweatband-wearing HD2 Carnival people are spilling themselves into the cheap seats, washing down their deep-fried bologna sandwiches with slugs of lukewarm Bud Heavy, desperately trying to convince the poor family in front of them that they were screwed on 2022's TMA Listener of the Year award. 2 gigantic sections of HD tours with elevated heart rates battling for precious armrest real estate to accommodate their overspill of shop and save bags filled with half a dozen RC Colas and homemade egg salad sandwiches. By the time they've filled out their programs and checked their insulin levels, their bodies have nearly maxed out of the aches and pains the human stomach can physically handle, but neither Nico Smith's national anthem nor Bobby Keppel's celebrity first pitch can convince them to shift their caloric intake into low gear, because the ice cream of the future and pulled pork egg rolls ain't going to consume themselves. An entire horde of sweat-soaked gargoyles wearing Happy Halloween bitches TMA-branded merch, bravely fighting through the nausea, abdominal bloating, and bouts of acid reflux to tell the beer guy about the time a member of the show privately DM'd them to ask if they could please stop posting offshore horse racing tips to the fan page. Because it's cluttering up the feed from important stuff like bourbon raffles and guys arguing with Cletus about politics. Thanks. That's from Dragon Slayer, and that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Iggy, what you got?
Yeah, Dragon Slayer without a doubt.
KG in O-Town, you're in Doug's chair. It's a powerful spot.
I'm going to go JV Golf Coach.
Wow, a pivot. That's what he's known for, Jackson.
JV Golf Coach.
JV Golf Coach, wow. I guess I skipped my vote. Well, either way, we'll honor it. JV Golf Coach, you have won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Jackson and I are 2 minutes late for a show. Bye.
That ball is gone. Blow off work and join the morning after at Busch Stadium on Wednesday.